Relics and Rarities is sponsored by the Rook and the Raven, whose unique disc-bound tabletop gaming notebooks grow and evolve throughout your entire campaign. Find your mischief and misadventure only at therookandtheraven.com.
Hello, adventurers. A few weeks ago, you received a very strange letter, and the interesting thing about it was that it was written in ink that only you could read. You showed it to other people, and no one else could see the writing on this piece of paper. And in it, it told you to go on this quest to find a few magic items. As you started on that quest, you met each other, and you went and successfully found these items, of which you have now brought with you today. You received another letter shortly after that, inviting you to this address, which is surprisingly, for adventurers, a kind of awkward little curio shop in the middle of a small town called Bellbrook. When you come into the curio shop, you're greeted by this plump, cheery little old gnome woman. She says, "Hello, dearies, my name is Professor Roundland, and welcome to Relics and Rarities. You must be the adventurers I ordered."
Oh, yes.
Yes, as ordered, here we are.
Fantastic. Please come, have a seat. Welcome. So she invites you to come in and sit down. And she says, yes, as you see, we have lots of interesting things here. And we are very impressed with what we have seen of your adventuring past.
Well, of course.
Yes, we've been watching you for quite some time. Oh. And in fact, Viros, I know you hail all the way from Azure Haven, my liege.
Oh, well, you've heard about that then. Yes, that's where I hail from.
I didn't know you were royalty.
Now, we've talked about this,
Well,
see?
it was
Amongst
after-
drinks, we might have forgotten.
Yes, that's what happened.
I can't say that I'm surprised. A lot of women watch Viros a lot of the time.
Oh, so true.
And Beryl the Brutal. Oh, we are so honored to have you in our presence.
You're welcome.
And Annabella?
I am very ready to go on a mission for you.
Oh my.
But before we came in, you just said you were gonna rob her for everything that she has. Right?
No, she didn't say rob.
Oh dear.
I said
Bob.
borrow.
Borrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, don't you worry at all, because there will be loot in store for you.
Ooh.
And of course, Ricky, we have encountered you on both sides of our investigations. I'm very glad to have you on our side of the table.
Well, thank you for your services rendered, and I'm happy to be of service to you, Ricky Huckster.
We are honored and blessed to have you here.
Look at how little he is.
You always
Sorry.
do that.
Sorry.
I suppose I should tell you a little bit about myself. As you know, my name is Professor Roundland, and I was one of the editors on the renowned Compendium of Curiosities. In fact, I am one of the few people with the only first edition copy.
Oh.
Yes, of course. However, after I completed my work on the compendium, I started to notice all of the terrible things that were happening in the realm. And so I used my contacts with my adventurer friends, and we formed a little brigade of sorts, calling ourselves the R&R Brigade.
Oh.
Yes, rest and relaxation.
That's
It's
yes.
very important.
That
very
or
important.
perhaps Relics and Rarities, which is, of course, what the compendium comprises.
They both start with R as well, you see.
Yeah, that's good.
Ah.
Anyways, we would like to extend an invitation to you to perhaps do some work for the R&R.
Well, now, we obviously are very valuable people.
This we have noticed, yes.
And it might be worth our time if there was some exchange of goods or money.
I understand. Yes, adventurers, you are not free. Unfortunately, the R&R is a non-profit organization.
Ugh.
What does that mean?
However, if you complete your quest as you are out doing your missions, you may keep any of the loot that you find.
Aha.
But no loot from here, like the first edition.
Unfortunately, the first edition is very, very rare.
I know.
Well, I challenge you to find it.
Oh, a challenge. A challenge.
I like challenges.
Let's flip some tables now.
Oh dear, not quite yet. Yes,
Okay,
all right. Now I suppose I should tell you the reason why I have gathered you all here. You may have noticed that some very strange things have been happening around this region. Of course, there was the red tide, when all of the marine animals, the mutilated bodies washed up on shore. Very, very strange indeed. And then the corpses were disappearing from the abbeys. Before anyone could be interred in the earth, they just went missing. Now, truth be told, we sent many of our spies out to try and gather some information, but very few of them returned. We are now wary of your safety on these missions. We ended up seeking out an oracle that we have spoken with before, a seer. Her name is Sarah Bentham, hoping that she could give us some guidance in how we could possibly solve these problems. Unfortunately, we received this letter from her wife instead. Annabella.
Professor Roundland, I am so grateful to hear from you. Unfortunately, I write with bad news. Sarah is changed. I'm not sure how to explain it. She barely speaks and won't get out of bed after dark. And then she is cruel and destructive. This is not the kind of true-hearted woman I married. I have tried all that it is at my disposal medically. She has not responded well. I fear I am beyond my depth. Now, you know me to be a reasonable, perhaps even cynical person, so you will believe me when I tell you what troubles her is not of this world. Strange things happen here at Benthem Manor, unspeakable things. Someone or something is having my beloved, and I am powerless to stop it. Sarah speaks highly of you. I know she would do anything to help your cause. Please send help. I am sure she will do whatever she can. Warm regards, Dr. Mary Kenfield.
Oh dear.
As you can see, we are quite distressed by this news. Sarah has been an invaluable asset to our brigade. Unfortunately, it seems that something is harming her. At this point, before you go on your quest, I would like to introduce you to an Alistair Goldenfang.
God, you good dang good masters.
Hello to you as well.
Greetings.
Hail.
Alistair has some experience in matters with the other world.
I think that means yes.
That one's smart, eh?
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
He is pretty intelligent.
This is an excellent team. You will be in excellent hands, as well as with an excellent guide.
So I walk in, I'm a 6'6" dragonborn golden dragon sorcerer. So he's huge and massive, like 300 pounds. He's got a big maw with huge teeth. He's intimidating. Okay. For real.
Okay.
Possibly taller than you, even. Yeah.
Oh, he's massive.
Wonderful. So, before you head out on this quest, as you may have noticed, things in this shop are not quite what they seem. I would like to offer you a gift.
Oh.
Viros,
Yes.
would you like to peruse the shop? You may choose anything that has a special tag on it.
Well, you know, I've noticed that one right next to me's got a tag, you see?
You should never
That's-
grab the first thing.
Exactly. It's like a plan, like a strategy. Oh my goodness, I'm on fire.
I'm so proud of him. He's coming
You're
along
very
well.
watch the lantern. You're so tall.
Oh yes, of course. Thank you.
Don't swing from it,
He's
please.
going to pick what I want. Aye, look at that.
It's got a ram's head. It's very strong, very tough.
As you are on your adventures, I would advise you that you need not be worried of any pathway, any narrow pathway.
Oh, useful.
Very.
Useful.
My shoulders sometimes don't clear doorways, you know, so that's helpful.
Beryl, would you now like to peruse the shop?
I can have something?
You can take anything with a
free?
special tag for free.
You guys always ask me for money.
Yes, this is a special situation.
Oh, well, then I'm really excited.
Shiny. I always pick the shiny.
Annabella told me that things like this are usually valuable.
Good girl.
Please, a very interesting item. You can have
For
it.
free?
You may. Now, I would encourage you to open it, speak some words, and close it for another time. At some point along your journey. Annabella, would you like to choose something?
One item.
One item.
What did she find? Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Wonderful, Annabella. I'm sure you will find those very useful. Whenever you are in the dark, I suggest you try them on.
Ooh,
Nice.
very useful for you indeed.
I can help you with this.
Yes.
Ricky, dear.
Yes.
Your turn.
I'm so very excited. Let me see. Now we've got some sheet music here, very interesting. A pocket watch. You know, I'm going to take the pocket watch.
Pocket watch. Oh, the pocket watch is one of my favorites. That took a very long time to find.
Oh.
This, I suggest you wind it, and for an hour, time may seem a little different to you.
Nice.
Very useful indeed.
Now, Alistair, my good old friend,
I get a
Please.
pick too?
Anything with a price
Oh, I
tag.
thought I didn't get it.
Like a dragon in a china shop.
Unfortunately.
Settle down. This might take a while. All right. I'm going to take this pouch.
Oh.
I don't know what's in it, but I'm going to take it.
You find that there is 1 gold coin in it. But I would suggest you look again a few minutes later.
I look again a few minutes later.
Another gold coin.
Hey!
Ricky.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you.
I feel like that's gonna pay for itself over time. Like, what's that story you told me about chickens?
That they're delicious.
But if you eat the chicken, then you don't make money. But if you don't eat the chicken, then you get to keep making money.
That sounds business.
It does sound business. I would say, unfortunately, at dawn, you may find yourself disappointed.
I want to trade. I want to trade my pouch of shite.
I think I'm good.
There, Dragon Man. It'll be all right. I don't know how.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince.
You're welcome. Just trying to make you feel better.
At this point, I think you are ready to begin your quest. Please follow me.
What? No way.
Wait a second.
What? The most incredible sight ever.
Oh my God.
Thing.
Enter our space.
I knew it was there all along.
Oh my goodness.
No.
It's bigger on the inside.
All right.
Allow me, Dungeon Master.
Why, thank you so much. Yes.
All right then.
Well played, DM.
We're very pleased.
All right, now you all die.
Yes, that's it. You can go home now, yes? So yes, here you are on your way to Benthem Manor to save young Sarah. You have your guide, Alistair, with you. He will hopefully come in useful in this particular environment. You start out, Benthem Manor is on an island in the middle of a lake. You find a sort of large rowboat waiting for you at a dock where you're told to meet a Mr. Powell, who greets you. He's sort of wrinkly and old with gray hair, and he beckons you. You all just fit in this rowboat. I mean, with 3 very large people, he looks a little nervous, and the whole thing
Put
sort
the
of
gnome on my
sinks.
lap.
There you go.
Come, little man. sit
Doesn't
on my
change the
lap.
weight, but you know. It all kind of sinks a
Friends.
little low, and a little water splashes in. He looks nervous, but it's okay. And then he ends up handing one of the other oars to you so he can have a little extra help rowing across this lake. The first thing you notice is it's very, very foggy. You can't see very much in front of you at all. Luckily, Mr. Powell seems to know the way. He looks at you and he says, "Oh, I certainly hope you can help us with Miss Sarah."
Can you describe what you've seen so far?
"Oh, I don't go in that house. I stick mostly to the grounds. That's my job. I keep the grounds. Terrible things happen to those who go in that house."
Was there anything strange on the grounds? Any strange plants that have propped up
Or died?
Everything's been dead for decades.
For decades, you say.
I
Not
try.
much of a groundskeeper, are you?
I'm afraid of being fired every day. I rake the leaves and I tend the weeds.
That rhymes, it goes together. Yeah.
Sort of.
It's perfect rhyme.
Keep rowing, pretty boy.
Okay.
Keep rowing.
Got it.
He continues
I
to
like
row.
you.
It's very silent. All you hear is that little psh,
Oh, that's good.
as the oars go through the water.
So I'll say I have the ability to commune with spirits, which is why I believe I've been chosen for this adventure. So at some point when we come to it, I'm going to need you to listen to me. Our very lives may depend on it. Ghosts, spirits, they haunt me every day.
You talk to ghosts.
Well, yeah, everyone does.
Oh, God.
Like the spirits of your ancestors.
Right.
I have great respect for you, sir. I have met very few people outside of my tribe who can speak to spirits.
Know that if it comes to battle, and it's my life or yours, I will lay my life down for you.
That's very noble.
This is a
You,
man
on the
I
other
can
hand,
respect.
will be suffering blows.
I can handle it.
Ricky's going to reach into a small pouch, and he's going to pull out some bright red berries, and he's going to distribute them. Now, please, each of you take one and pass it along. Take a berry. Now, this might be extremely dangerous if you find yourself in a situation that calls for immediate health or healing. Please take this berry. It will not be very potent, but it will help you in a scrape.
Okay.
And I cast good berry.
Fantastic.
It's +1, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one. Like
Oh,
one HP.
great.
Pop one, you get one.
Great.
But if you're dying, man.
Come on.
I take out my coin purse and
Yes.
offer you a coin. Ooh, is that a coin in there?
There is a coin in there.
I take that, boyo.
Well, I don't mind if I do.
As he takes it out, you notice that another one immediately appears in its stead.
I'll give one to everyone,
Everyone gets a coin.
Get money.
and I'll give one to
To Mr. Powell.
yeah.
Mr. Powell takes it, he puts it between his teeth and tries to bend it, and he goes, "This is good coin."
Aye, boyo.
Pockets it.
Don't
Thank you,
forget
you're
to
very
grease it.
generous.
All right, good.
All right, you continue to row, and after a few little moments, he sort of sniffs the air and he goes, Benthem Manor. And he points, and the fog disperses, and you see this huge mansion, but it is all kind of falling apart. The siding is falling off, the windows and some of the doors are boarded up, the grounds are all kind of weedy and dirt. He pulls up to a dock and starts to tie off the rope. He says, "Mrs. Powell will meet you in the office. It's just in the front door."
Let's go.
Aye.
Real quick, before we leave.
Yes.
Is there a reason you don't go into this house?
Everyone I've seen go into that house either does not come out or comes out in misery.
Oh,
Well, that's
nice.
promising. That's,
I'm
that's
otherworldly stitches, so I'm not afraid. So not super, like beyond that, more. So let's go.
I clutch my little totem in my pocket and I'm like, my spirits will protect me.
Okay. So you walk down this large, what would have been kind of a grand entryway decades ago when it was well kept. It's all kind of gravel, and you come to the front porch. You come up a few steps, and there's a really kind of beautiful door that hasn't been painted or maintained in many years. You open it, and inside you see a tall, thin woman with gray hair standing there. You've come from the R&R, I suppose.
Yes, we have.
So I am Mrs. Powell. I maintain the house as best I can. Please come this way into the office. You should probably have a word with me before we go upstairs.
We'll follow you.
She ushers you into the office. The office is kind of drab. You can see that there's a shelf on the back with some ledgers. There's a desk with some paperwork on it. And then there appears to be a canvas cloth that has been strung over what was probably a painting, a picture frame on the wall has been covered. She sits behind the desk and she says, "Dr. Kennefic is upstairs with her wife right now. We should go up and speak with her, but I thought perhaps I should fill you in on some of what's been happening."
Please.
Sarah seemed to get a little strange. She just wasn't herself, and she would sleep all day. And finally at night she would wake up, and then she would go into the dining room and the kitchen, and she would gorge herself and then start throwing dishware around. In fact, we've had to lock the dining room off completely. She seemed to talk to herself or something else that she thought she was in the room, but we've locked it off because she was doing damage to not only the property but to herself. Since then, things have only gotten worse. We keep her completely confined to the master suite. She has a tendency to harm herself. When she speaks, we do not recognize it as herself. We have also found that things in this house have a habit of moving. We have taken to locking every door behind us to try and keep things somewhat consistent.
Pardon me for interrupting, but when she speaks and you don't recognize it, you don't recognize the language, you don't recognize the tone or the pitch of which she's speaking?
Sometimes one, sometimes the other, sometimes both. It is very inconsistent what she expresses.
And when did this all begin?
Well, they moved in a few months ago. They had a week or two of some happy times here trying to fix up the home. And then very quickly we began to lose Sarah.
Decline. Yeah.
Now, with your history with Mr. and Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Have you been taking care of these grounds for a long time?
I was hired by Mr. Simon Bentham. He was the owner before this. He and his new wife came to live here with his children from his first wife. Unfortunately, a terrible tragedy occurred and they left.
With the children?
Unfortunately, yes, both of the children died.
That is.
We're not entirely sure. They passed. One passed in their sleep, the other in the morning. Unfortunately, Miss Lucy lost herself and her wits in despair. She claimed it was her fault, although none of us could tell why, and she could not tell us how she had done it, but she became convinced that they died at her hand.
This might be a strange question, but is there a graveyard here on the premises of the mansion?
Mr. Simon spoke of a mausoleum, but I have never found it myself.
That might be something worth looking into, sir.
Aye. There's no doubt that's what's happening, right? Spirits, indeed.
One thing to keep in mind, Morgwin Bentham, who built this home, he was quite fond of puzzles and secrets. Supposedly, there are very many secret areas in the home. I'm aware of them. I have found very few of them, even in my many years.
Do you mind if I take a peek at this and I'll look without answer?
Oh, behind the drape?
Yeah.
She says, oh, yes, this is one of Morgwin's little secrets.
I'll rip it
Unveil
off.
it down. So it's a large portrait of a very beautiful woman in a red dress. She's sitting, and there's a little girl with curly hair, and she's holding a funny little cube toy.
Is it as terrifying as it sounds? Because it sounds absolutely terrifying.
They look very austere,
God.
they posed for hours for this painting. And she says, oh, take a closer look at the eyes.
Is it Lucy in the painting?
He says, no, that is not Lucy. This is Eleanor Bentham, Morgwin's wife, and his daughter, Katrin. He says, yes, if you'll take a closer look at the eyes, and as you look, you can see that there's little cuts around them. And she says, if you sneak in behind through the secret passage above, you can pull away a panel and look through the eyes into the office. Quite creepy, if I do say myself.
I mean,
We
I've
keep it
seen
covered.
Stranger Things. Some people like watching people.
I have heard that this is true. I don't know much about Morgwin Bentham. He was a generous man. I know he gave lots of money to charity. He built this home himself to try and make a beautiful place for his wife and daughter. In fact, if you would like, I have a property list here that should tell you about the ownership of the property.
Yes. Property ownership record. Home built by Morgwin Bentham. He resided on this property with his wife Eleanor and his daughter Katrin. Home transferred by inheritance to Morgwin's nephew Simon Bentham. He resided on the property with his 2 children, Luke and Gwyneth. Lucy, his second wife, joined them soon after. Home stayed empty for many years. Basic upkeep, well, that's debatable.
I'm sorry, yes, we try.
Provided by the property managers, Mrs. and Mr. Powell. Home transferred by sale to Sarah Bentham, Simon Bentham's niece. She currently resides on the property with her wife, Dr. Mary Kennefic. This is the property ownership record.
Has Mary experienced any of these language-changing, rapid appetite, sleeplessness? Is she going through any of that?
No, she is not. She, unfortunately, and I have spent all of our time trying to care for Sarah.
In the home, no one's leaving this house.
Mr. Powell and I do not stay here overnight. I am not a superstitious woman. There must be an explanation for all of this. However, there have been tragic accidents here, and so we leave to go to the mainland, to our own home each evening. In fact, I shall be leaving at 6 p.m. this evening.
And Dr. Mary Kennefic, is she a medical doctor?
She is very well trained, and in the beginning we thought maybe this was just some disease, and she tried every intervention she could think of that would not harm young Sarah, but nothing seemed to have worked. She reaches in a drawer and she pulls out a ring of keys and she starts, swiping through them, and she takes you out the door. As soon as you are through the office, she closes and she indeed locks it behind her. She takes you from this hallway. You can see on the other side of the room there are double doors that are closed, and then a little sort of closet door. You step up into a grand stair hall. Here there is one stair that wends up and goes in opposite directions to a balcony that encircles the top of this sort of 2-floor. Underneath those stairs are archways going into a well-lit room. To your left is a small staircase that seems to head up just about 4 or 5 steps and dead end in the wall. However, Mrs. Powell continues to walk up this main staircase and turns to the right. She takes you around, up, down this hallway. She comes in front of 2 very large double doors. And as you get near them, you literally feel a chill go up your spine. It is colder here. Mrs. Powell wraps her shawl tightly around her, takes out her keys, knocks twice. You hear a small voice from inside say, "Come in." She unlocks the door and opens it and walks in. As you follow her in, she closes the door behind you and again locks it. This room has been emptied of all of its contents beyond a bed and a large fireplace in the corner, which has a roaring fire in it, but it does little to take away the chill that you feel in your bones. There is dirt on the walls where picture frames used to hang. The windows have all been broken and then boarded up. You can even feel the fog and the cold coming through them. As you turn around, you see a sort of thin woman, smartly dressed, sitting on a wooden chair next to a bed. On the bed, there's a bundle of sheets that sort of slowly
I'm gonna walk forward, just reach out my hand and gently, like, touch the bundle and say, "We're here to help."
And a face turns around to look at you. Its eyes are sunken. It is the face of a young woman, but there are veins and pale, and there's bruises all the way down one side of her face. She turns, she stands straight up, and she goes.
Wait.
She stands up in the bed in a nightdress, and she looks at you, and she says, "No one can help."
Oh, God.
Well, that was really unexpected.
Mary stands up in the chair, and she backs away, pulling you back. She goes, "It's all right. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, my darling. Come. She pulls you to the back of the corner. She goes, "Look, we try not to rouse her as best that we can. She will hurt herself or others. Do you have any thoughts, anything you can tell me about what you think this might be?"
Gather around. You notice on Golfang, he's got like these robes. He's a sorcerer with a staff. And then he's got this big black sort of turtleneck thing. And he whips it off and he throws it in the middle of the ground. And he says, "Grab hands now, like your life depended on it. Boy, grab hands." And he'll grab Mary's hand.
Grabs Mary's hand. Mary joins in.
And then he'll pull his candle out of a pack and he'll stick it in the middle of the shroud. And he'll say, "Hitsipere!" Oh.
The candle lights, the fire in the room dims as this happens. Everything seems to go kind of quiet and still. You feel a little bit of a wind kind of in the center of your circle. All you can hear, though, from behind you as you close your eyes and start to chant is a growl of...
Lacantor spiritus. Lacantor spiritus. Lacantor spiritus. Lacantor spiritus. Lacantor spiritus. Lacantor spiritus.
Fine, speak with me. I'm here.
What is it you want, creature?
I want despair.
Fine.
I want you to watch this girl rot.
Why? Speak to me, why? What is the damage that's been done to you, creature?
There shall be no happiness in this house. She starts to weave and bob. You see her stand up. She runs to the wall and she begins to bang her head against the wall.
Stop! I mean,
She takes damage from that. She bangs her head against
Why?
the
Tell
wall.
us why! What is it about?
On a
What do
third
you
one,
want?
she bangs her head against the wall.
I cast a Zone of Truth. I cast a Zone of Truth spell, and I want to talk to Sarah, not the demon.
You want to talk to Sarah.
I want to see if she's okay in there and what she's seeing and if she's in this room with us.
So what do you say? You cast Zone of Truth?
I cast it.
As you do it, the girl's body drops to the ground in a heap and she begins to writhe.
I cast. As she's casting, I cast.
Okay. Her body stills and it goes back to that shallow breathing.
Sarah, we're here to help you. Are you okay?
She rolls her face up and her eyes seem a little clearer and she says, please, I'm here. And the body rises again and goes and sits back on its bed, curled up, looking at you all.
we've got to get the spirit out.
Great assessment there.
I'm just.
Can I try something?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I have the Path of the Ancestral Guardian, I don't know how this would work. I can ask my ancestor to protect a certain target from a
Okay.
certain target.
Okay.
Can I attempt to ask my ancestor to protect Sarah from this beast so it stops dealing damage to her?
Yeah. Would it be like a charisma, something like that? To see if...
I have to be raging.
Oh, okay. So you can range.
I can enter a rage. Like seeing this, yes.
okay. Seeing this girl just bashing her head against the wall.
This profane, this bastardization of everything I believe in, and seeing this like this harmful spirit who is going against everything I've been raised to respect. You start to see Beryl just like bare her fangs and start to seethe. And as she like clenches her fists, trying to hold herself back because she knows if she harms this profane creature, she'll be harming the girl. Her eyes become a different color. She starts to alight. And then you just hear like a bit of a cackle. And as you hear a bit of a cackle, you almost see like an ethereal presence come up out of her.
What?
And you see, Chief is what I call her. And you see her arise from within me. And this like very mischievous almost spirit rises up And she says, don't worry, I know what to do here. and I still like, frothing, I say, Chief, I call upon your strength. Please save this girl, save this woman from this profane creature. And my spirit goes forth.
Okay, great. Perfect. So this ghostly image that rises up over you and it comes and it starts to float over the young woman. She then looks up at the rest of you and you see her head begin to spin, coming all the way backwards and coming all the way around 360 degrees. All of you need to make wisdom saving throws.
That is not my strength, brother.
Natural 20!
Nice. Crit. 17.
16.
4.
11.
Okay.
I rolled an 18. I'll take a 17.
You'll take a 17. Okay. You two at this end, unfortunately this might dispel your spirit. Upon watching that, it is one of the most terrifying, violating things that you have ever seen. You immediately feel a scream rise up in your throat and you turn and you run as far to the back of the room as you can, starting to scrape at the door to try to get out. The three of you, while frightened of this is a scary thing to see, are able to hold your ground as you see him essentially try to break her neck. At this point, I think because of that, your spirit kind of disappears.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to Mrs. Powell and kind of tug on her.
Mrs.
apron.
Powell's at the back of the room, also kind of standing afraid. Mary was able to withstand it because she's seen it before.
Sure.
But yes, Mrs. Powell's at the back, kind of shivering.
I'd like to speak to you, please.
Yes. Mary says, perhaps it is better if we leave her be for now. Please come. Mary ushers you out of the room. She says, you must go. We cannot let her harm herself anymore. Come back when you have another idea.
Aye.
Slams the door and locks it behind you. You speak with Mrs. Powell, and she says, yes, it is time for me to be heading off for the evening. Mr. Powell and I must leave. You can see why we would want to. Please watch over Sarah. Here are the keys to all of the doors in the home. Remember to lock the doors after you. Terrible things have happened when we've left them unlocked.
And can you show us secret passages that you know about
Yes.
in this house before you leave?
So the two that I am aware of, there is a portrait in the guest bedroom, which is just off here to the left. That leads to a staircase that goes down behind the portrait in the office. The other area we are aware of, but neither myself nor Simon nor anyone else in this house has been able to access, is the library. And she takes you down the stairs into that sort of grand
Wall.
stair hall where there was that short stair that went right into the wall.
One more question for you. Where are the children's rooms? Do you know?
The nursery.
Aye.
Well, we don't go into the nursery.
I know that. But where are they?
They would be at the top of the stairs on the other side of the house. We have no key for that room.
Yeah, that's okay.
We have not tried very hard to find it. Terrible tragedies happen there.
Do you know what tragedies they were in the storytelling? It will help us.
Well, I do know that young Gwyneth died up there. That is where she perished in her sleep. And supposedly there were other deaths. There is some terrible fire damage. We imagine some awful fire happened there many years ago. There are records here, and she offers you this.
Oh, nice. Well done, Deborah.
A property list of all of the damage that they are trying to repair in the home. She says, in our efforts to try and repair things, we've had people come in. We've only been able to get a look at the nursery from the outside, looking through the windows, and there is considerable fire damage there. I shall be heading off now. Here are the keys. Godspeed.
And stay safe.
Thank you. And she leaves to go home with Mr. Powell.
So I think that, where do we start now? I think that nursery,
Well,
I feel like we start there, yeah?
Yeah, let's jump to the front of the line.
Or
I
we
think
go to
that-
the library, try to figure out the library. Does anyone have the ability to find secret doors or a knock spell? I don't have a knock spell.
There is one thing that I could try, because I do have meld into stone that I could try passing through this stone wall. I don't know how thick it is.
It is a wooden wall.
Oh, it's a wooden wall. The
So
staircase-
in the stair hall, in fact, you can come down and start to look at it. So there are these two exits that go into kind of a lighted living area beyond, but then back in the other direction is the front of the house. Over here is this 5 steps that seem to dead end in the wall.
And the wall is wood.
In the wall is wood. This is all engraved, beautiful wooden paneling along the walls. As you come up closer to that wall, you can see that there are little discs that have intricate designs on them. And there seems to be a hole off to one side.
I believe the best place to start is the library.
I agree.
If we could figure this out, knowledge is the key.
I really want to break that wall down.
Well, let's look first.
Okay.
So as I'm looking at this, at the discs on the door, I'm gonna take an opportunity to cast Mage Hand. I have as a cantrip, so I can do it anytime. So this dragon hand appears magically, and then it goes up to the door, and it will start to pull at the discs itself, or start to turn. Does it move?
Yeah, so your mage hand sort of floats over this ghostly image of spectral hand, and as it starts to kind of toy with it, it can see that these discs seem to spin, and they have these grooves on them. And then you also notice off to the side that there is one slot that appears much larger than the rest of the grooves. And in fact, I will show you what you are looking at.
Oh, nice.
Little homemade project.
That's incredible.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I did not see that there's lightning outside.
Yeah, right?
That is terrifying.
It is a dark and stormy night.
Okay.
So yes, so this is what you see as you approach the door. There appear to be wooden discs that are set into this inlay and the grooves on them. Now off to the side, you can see that there's this one particular hole that's a little bit larger.
This one?
Mm-hmm. That is what you know about them. And that they seem to spin.
Now, let me see here. Good old Morgan Bentham and his puzzles. Yeah. But it seems as though something might be able to be inserted in here, and if we turn these discs in the correct way, we can end up over here. So it would follow along some sort of pattern.
Right.
But we don't know what to insert there.
A key.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at the ring of keys.
Yeah, you look through the keys. They all seem kind of the same. You're going to have a little trouble figuring out what is for what.
They're not labeled?
They're
Oh,
not
no.
labeled. But there's only about like 6 keys.
Okay.
But is it a key? It doesn't look like a keyhole.
Someone make an investigation who's checking it out.
I don't think that's my forte.
That's not mine.
15.
A 15. So you get in close, and you're brave enough to even kind of stick your little gnome finger in and feel in, and you can feel that like behind the groove, there's more open space. So as if something that would fit in the side there, if it slid through, you wouldn't be able to take it out, but it could slide through these channels.
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. But this is a pattern, obviously. We have to
Yes.
figure out what the pattern is.
And I'll reach up. Can I reach it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So you're up
You
there
have
touching.
to
No, I
move
mean,
the
can
dial.
Ricky
Oh,
reach
can Ricky? Yes. Sure, we'll say Ricky can reach it. And if not, you can stand on someone's knee.
Sure.
Meat shield on the ground.
You got it. All 4.
This is the best.
Viros kneels down on the floor and
I'll climb up on top of him.
Ricky climbs up
Come
and
aboard,
starts
little
to
man.
play.
Well done.
I thank you for your service.
Oh, no problem.
And I'll start to like rotate them and see that if like this looks like it would line up. Okay. Well, thank you for now. I'm going to step down.
Oh, you're done.
Well, it seems as though we have an objective. Let us try searching around to try to find something that might fit into this hole.
Right. Do you fit in the hole?
I don't.
Okay, just checking.
So we're looking for a really big, really weirdly shaped key.
Or something like that.
Well, we need to figure out what the pattern is. All right, so let's continue on. Do we all agree, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So can we check out the lit room on the bottom here, the big lit room before we go up north?
So you go back through these archways that head into the back, and this is a really beautiful, grand living space. There's a big fireplace in the center with a mirror above it. There are kind of almost glass walls, glass doors, so much light is coming through. It is very foggy, so it's diffused a bit. But all along here, again, more of this intricate, beautiful engraved paneling. But over to the right, you see a greenhouse, a conservatory, a solarium. But the glass doors, you can even see that there are vines. The greenery is all grown up and overgrown in this area because no one's been in there for so long. And the vines have kind of come underneath and around the edges of this door. You can't see very well in there because it's all green.
It says on the list of things to repair, I think it says something about the greenhouse and the plants.
You don't know how to read, do you?
No.
Those things are called words.
Right here.
Plants in the greenhouse. Identify. Botanist, 5 gold pieces.
Botanist.
Do you have...
I guess the botanist.
No, botanist.
Oh, yes.
Highly educated. 5 GP.
This is my expertise. I'll lean forward to examine the plant.
Nature check, I guess?
Yeah.
Do roll a nature.
I would like to. I have a 24.
So you lean forward. You know exactly what type of plant this is. This is a harmless vine, but they are very much like a weed. They will grow over and take over an entire space very quickly if you leave them unattended. And they're pretty strong and thick once they're kind of all interwoven like this, but not unbreakable.
This vine is very good for basket weaving, but it might overtake something. I'm going to pluck a leaf from it and pocket that away.
Absolutely, you've got it.
I don't know if our answer that we're seeking is in there, though.
Do you have any other suggestions?
You know, I'll do a perception check to see if there's a spirit maybe
for it.
around, like
Yeah, do a perception.
in there. These dice are going to be the end of me. I perceive nothing.
Nothing at all. He steps forward and he closes his eyes and he tries to kind of meditate and feel things, but you're still a little shaken about
I
what
need
happened
you to
upstairs.
step away from me, brother.
Okay.
You're so damn handsome.
I know
Get away.
it's definitely disarming. Go ahead.
Harshen is mojo.
All right, so I just think, look, I just think that if our quest is to figure out what's happening to her, I don't know if it's in the greenhouse.
I do think it would be best to examine all possible areas of the house to see what is there, even if we just peek inside.
I have a
There's
suggestion. How about I peek inside that staircase that's blocked by a wall when I break it down?
I don't know if that puzzle's gonna agree with that.
Just digest it, simmer.
All right, I'm going to watch.
Okay, let it marinate and let me know what the team decides. Happy to
Well,
break it down.
I think breaking down might be the answer. Not the door, but here, dead rat smell. Remember they said they couldn't get into the attic. I think dead rat smell. Where there is
He means
the
rocks.
smell of the rat, there is also the corpse of the creature. And where the smoke is, there must also be fire.
Well said.
It's a very
Well
ancient
said
saying.
in
It's a
18
very
minutes old.
old world saying it is.
All right.
Here's the thing. Let's go to the nursery.
Yeah.
You're okay to break down the door, but there has been fire damage. The floorboards might be very weak. So once you break the door down, I say we send in the gnome.
Right, because I do weigh a solid 225 of all muscle, so it's very smart that, okay.
Before we do anything, I'm going to open the greenhouse door.
Okay, so you go over to the greenhouse door and you open it, and it will open, but it's just all these vines are kind of holding.
Eros?
Make a strength check.
Sure. 9 plus. Where's my strength? Oh, it's up there.
top.
3. So.
A 12. A nice 12. It's all right. You pull, and it just sort of kind of snaps, and the vines kind of break apart and flop down, and you can just kind of wiggle your way through into the conservatory.
All right. There's an opening.
I'll only be a minute. I'm going to scamper inside.
All right, you come inside and everything is kind of overgrown, but what you can see is that set in the center is a little round table with 2 chairs. There are books on the seat of the chairs and a small tea set sitting on top of the table. There's also a little doll on one of the chairs.
I'd like to reach into one of my pockets and pull out a little spray bottle.
Okay.
Like a perfume bottle of sorts. And it's got a little contraption. And I'm just going to start...
So you're just going to spritz as fast as you can.
Spritz is running around spritzing, and I'm casting Detect Magic.
Fantastic. As you go around and spritz, nothing magical comes out to you.
I'd like to sort of make a investigation or a nature check to see ingredients, because it's a greenhouse. I want to look for any plants or anything that seem unnatural besides the doll and the tea
Nature
set.
check.
Cool. I'm on fire. 23.
23. You're looking around, and other than a few varieties of kind of your average plants that you would see, there is one particular box that you can see clearly used to hold deadly nightshade.
Oh, this is an unusual plant to have in a greenhouse, especially with children around. Has anybody else followed me into the green room?
No.
Nope.
Not even a little.
Just kind of like
out,
I'm flanking that door area.
Yeah,
and just
I'm
kind
like
of-
peeking over
Watching
the
over you.
shoulders
Okay.
of other people. 'cause I'm
I want to
curious.
examine the box then. So it used to hold it, like I see residue or something.
Yeah, you can see the dried up leaves and things. There even maybe a little bit that's still alive. But again, nothing here has been tended to and these weeds have taken over. But this is clearly how you would tend to deadly nightshade.
I'm going to pull out like a handkerchief and I'm going to scrape some of the dead leaves. It will be useful later.
Risk reward.
Pockets it.
And I pocket it. And I'd like to examine the tea set and the doll.
Okay. An investigation.
Doo-doo-doo. 20, a dirty 20.
A dirty 20, my favorite kind. So yes, you come down to the tea set, and the one thing you notice is that there are these sort of strange blue rims on the teacups, and then the little doll, which is sort of a standard doll made of cloth, it looks like one end of it has been chewed, like a child has been sort of sucking on it in its mouth, and that also has a little blue tinge on it.
The doll?
The hand of the doll where it's been sucked on.
I'm going to open the lid of the pot. Is it empty?
It is empty.
I would just like to say that I have been weaving a basket large enough to take the tea and the doll as a possible offering
Well
with
done.
spirit. So would you mind just go ahead and passing the doll and the tea right on out and into the basket, not so I physically touch it, but in.
Could it be Nightshade related, that blue tinge?
It could be. It could be.
There's also a flap on my basket, and it is secure. I just want to make that.
You are an amazing basket
We need
weaver.
like a crafting check or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I don't know what you have.
could.
What we
It's
could do.
perfect. I have a 20.
No
I
check.
wonder if that is the thing that made this whole thing go south. I mean, if you're an angry spirit, if you've been given Nightshade,
As a child, especially.
you know what I mean?
Let's think about this for a minute. Didn't their mother blame herself? What if it was just negligence?
Or an accident if she didn't know to identify this plant.
Right? Maybe she just thought it was pretty. I mean, I thought it was pretty. I was going to ask you for some to put in my hair, but
Not
You
a good
think
idea.
that she put it in the tea?
maybe.
Maybe the little girl
Maybe she
did.
just thought it looked pretty.
Can we discern if that's Nightshade on the blue? I mean, is
You
there-
can make a medicine check.
I'm gonna let Ricky make the medicine
Ricky's
check.
going to see if you can make a medicine check.
Okay. That is 13.
A 13? Yeah, sure, you can put deadly nightshade in tea and poison someone. You're not entirely sure that it links up.
Right, it might not
but
turn it
it's a
that blue.
possibility.
All right, well, maybe that's part of the riddle.
Right.
Yes. My curiosity has been satisfied.
We continue.
Right. Get
To
back
the
in here.
nursery?
I think so, don't you?
This is a little heavy. I'm just going to go ahead and ask if Viros would hold the basket.
The doll in the
I mean,
With
I
the
look at
doll
her
and the
eyes
teeth.
and I go, sure, my dear, anything you want. I forget there's Nightshade in here altogether.
Thank you.
I'll hold anything you want.
So Viros is holding Annabella's purse while we continue this adventure.
I'm secure. Let's go.
You come out into the main living space again and go back around into the stair hall. And as you come around and you come up the stairs and start to go left up towards the nursery, you see that the door stands open.
Was it open before?
Did we not
No,
lock the
that's
greenhouse?
his new perception check. There it is.
Check with
Lock the
advantage.
greenhouse.
12. I mean, literally, these dice are poison.
Look, I had luck with the 12. Go. What happens?
So you can't really identify, get a clear sense, but in the back of your head you start hearing.
I don't share that with anyone because they don't want to know the horror that I hear in my head.
What's going on?
Aye, Boyle, I hear a nursery rhyme or a nursery song
Okay.
somewhere deep. This is it. This is the children for sure.
Annabella brought up a good point. In our haste, we've forgotten to lock the greenhouse. Should I?
Yes!
return? And I'll skip
run
back
back,
down and
you
like
skip
fiddle with
back,
the keys.
close
Trying
it.
to,
Only thing they told us. Lock that door. I know you forgot the first freaking door. All right, are you back?
He runs back. You almost like hanging out below the door.
All right, Ricky. You're good. All right.
Let me tell you something. You and your hand axes are useless against a spirit. You might as well go back to the boat.
Oh, now wait a second.
What are you gonna do? Attack a spirit?
Are you telling me that you don't want me just there, just in case? Because even my eyes could disarm a ghost. Let's be real. That's how charming. My charisma's through the freaking roof.
Right.
I feel safer with him here.
Fair enough. I apologize. We'll continue up the stairs.
All right. Do you want a marching order? How do you want to do this? You're gonna go first?
Yep.
All right. So the Dragonborn mage sort of pushes you aside, and his huge heft kind of comes up in front. You take the steps two at a time up to the top, where you turn and look in the open room. It is definitely a children's room. There are two little twin beds with cute little sheets on them. The far side of the room is a mess. It is all just burned, charred, broken floor, and the windows have all been kind of blasted out. On a little table, you see, some of those like leaf etchings that you used to make with like charcoal and tracing paper. Over on the left, there's a huge tree that has been drawn onto the wall like a decoration. And right in the center, it says "knock, knock."
I would like to go and examine the etchings and see if I can recognize the plants.
Yeah. Okay. Make a nature check.
Yeah.
I love he's just going in. Like, I'm like ready for an attack. He's like, oh, look at leaves.
Yeah. You feel something on the back of your neck. It's
These
my
are all
breath.
leaves that you could find on the grounds. This is very native to this area. Even you look outside, and one of the trees you can see outside the window. Some of these leaves could very well have come right from there.
I'm looking specifically for nightshade.
No, none of these are nightshade.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to the wall, and in my
Which
simple
wall?
way, the one with the tree on
tree?
it,
Yeah.
just be like,
One of the knots in the tree coalesces and this mouth forms.
No.
And it says, "Who's there?"
nope, no,
Viros.
no, I don't. Don't talk to them.
What he asked?
What if it's like the one in the other room?
I don't know. It's a natural thing, you know. Anyway.
There's a mouth in a wall.
I see that. I'm a little bit frozen.
Don't talk to strangers.
"Bye." And then it goes
He was
away.
polite.
You don't
What
think
are
that's
you doing?
weird?
What are you doing?
Excuse
Did
me?
you answer the question? I pushed them out of the way.
Okay, you step into the room.
I put my hand on,
On the tree? Okay.
and then I advantage, please God, for spirits. 17.
17. You don't feel anything in the tree, in the
No,
wall.
okay.
However, behind you, the cradle in the corner begins to sway back and forth. And again, you hear this little singing. Now some of you can kind of hear it, as if it's really far away.
Annabella, is that you?
Let us ask it questions. Grab hands. I'll grab hands. Shroud comes off. I'll lay it in the middle. Put the candle down. And I'll say, Insipere!
Oh.
That was nice.
It's a good one. It's a good.
So good. Then I'll start the seance.
Okay.
Lacator spiritus. Lacator
Spiritus.
Lacator spiritus.
Slowly, the shroud in the middle of the space begins to rise, a figure inside of it. It gets higher and higher and higher.
Oh, no, yes! Lacator spiritus. Hey! Spirit,
Except it
you
says-
have presented yourself.
Shh. Be quiet, or the bad man will come.
Who is the bad man?
I don't know his name, but he scares me. We must be very, very quiet.
Aye, quiet indeed. We don't want him to hurt you.
Thank you. Have you seen my brother?
Not yet. We're looking for him. When was the last time you saw him?
I miss Luke. It's been ages, and I have no one to play with.
We'll have to find him for you and free him.
That would make me so happy.
Are you in pain, little one?
No, I'm all right. But I do miss my brother. And I think we could possibly move on if we could be reunited again.
Aye, write that down, Ricky. Reunited.
Let's do it.
Is it okay if I speak now?
Yes, go.
Gwyneth?
Why, hello. I am. My name is Gwyneth. How'd you guess?
Oh, well, we are on the lookout for your brother Luke to reunite you. Could you tell us what the last thing you remember is?
Well, I wasn't feeling very well, and I went to sleep, and then I never woke up.
What was the last thing that you did before going to sleep?
Oh, I had dinner with my mama and my papa, although she's my new mama.
Gwyneth, where did Luke like to play in the house? What was his favorite room?
Well, we used to play in the greenhouse with our new mama Lucy. And we would have all kinds of tea parties, and it was ever so much fun. She was so sweet.
Would it bring you peace if I left you your doll and your tea?
You found Matilda?
I have Matilda here. Would you like to see her?
I would love to see Matilda again.
Firos, please give her the basket.
So Viros hands the basket over, opens the flap, brings out the tea and the doll.
You see the shroud moves forward a little bit, but then withdraws, and she says, I'll just look. I don't think I can touch.
That's okay. That's fine.
Thank you. At least I can talk to her.
Right. So,
Gwyneth,
Yes.
if you don't mind, before your new mother came, what happened to your mother before?
Oh, well, Mother passed in childbirth.
With
Me and Luke, we are twins, you know.
Good to know. And the bad man, it's not your father, yes?
No. Papa would never be bad.
you don't know his name, you said.
I don't know who the bad man is.
What does he look like?
Well, he's very tall and thin, and he wears a scary top hat and carries a cane.
Now, usually when someone says that somebody's a bad man, they call them bad for a reason. Has he hurt you?
He has tried, and he yells at me, and he's the only one who can roam about the house freely.
The bad man,
Yes,
is he a spirit like you?
yes, he can go through walls.
Good to know. All right. Did he bring fire into the room? Who put the fire in the room?
Oh, that was here long before I ever came.
Does anyone need to commune with the spirit any longer?
No.
Thank you for your help, love.
Oh, it was ever so much nice to talk to somebody. It's been so lonely.
We'll come back with your brother. I promise you that.
Never
Could you
fear.
please? Oh, thank you so.
God, you good then.
With this, the shroud falls to the ground in a heap, and the light goes out.
The last thing she remembers was tea with Mother.
It's not a good sign, which means that maybe the mother did it. Maybe the mother and this man had something going on.
Ah,
The man is a bad man. That is the man we need to find. But maybe the mother then is in the spirit of Sarah.
Or that's the bad man? Perhaps he's taken a corporeal form.
possible.
Well, she said he can pass through the walls.
And it might be that he could pass through flesh and possess another.
Aye.
Who would know this house better than the original creator? What if it's Morgan himself?
That is a distinct possibility. Before we leave, I'd like
Yes.
to examine the stove area
Yes.
where like the fire had come out.
Okay.
I'm just looking to see sort of with like scorch marks and stuff like that, sort of the nature of it, because it's not something that like a stove would normally do.
Investigation.
Would you like to roll that for me?
Sure, let's do one of those.
Oh, and
What is your bonus?
3.
3. You look at this, and as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem terribly unnatural to you. It seems like probably what happened was something got out of control, something lit that was too close to the fireplace, and it just ballooned from there. You cannot detect any sort of foul play necessarily, an accident.
I just want to point out too that there is a talking tree in the
I
corner.
know, I
Right.
kept. That's
Like,
what I was talking
we
about.
can't really.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you want to knock on it again?
I would like to try. Veros, I can't reach, if you please.
Giddy up!
I'll stand up on and I'll knock, knock.
Again, the knot kind of conforms, and again, it becomes a little mouth, and it says, "Who's there?"
Gwyneth?
Bye now. And the mouth goes away.
Well, that was that. But it seems like these things were here before she was. If we
Which
were-
is why maybe the bad man, maybe Morgan.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Morgan, the terrible.
Bye now.
Oh, shoot.
I give up.
I'll step down. Please feel free. Like offering him as a stool.
Bang bang.
Who's there?
Alistair Goldfang.
Goodbye. The mouth
Okay.
goes away.
All right.
If you'd like to, I can allow, again,
do
as a
take
game,
10.
you can do an investigation for like a hint or something that might give you a clue towards
take
it,
a
something
10?
like that. You can also take a 10 and just add your investigation bonus to the 10 for a hint.
I wouldn't be very good with that. I would only be a 13.
I have-
I'd be-
Jules?
I have high
Hello.
investigation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You gonna just roll it? Okay, great.
Oh. I didn't roll great. 13.
A 13. You look around and there's a little bookshelf with a lot of like little books and knickknacks on it. You see a lot of like joke books and things that kids would want to read.
Oh,
Great.
Knock knock. Who's there?
Who's there?
Oh, it's a knock knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there?
Nacho.
Nacho who?
Nacho cheese. Can we come in, please?
Ho, 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 ho. And the tree swings forward and passage beyond.
That was hilarious! Can I tell that later?
What's nacho cheese?
I've never heard of it.
What is this thing? Nacho cheese.
Oh, you'll love it. We'll talk later.
Delicious. All right.
So yes, it opens up,
Yeah.
and through the trunk of the tree you can pass, and you see a little passageway that seems to go off to the left.
Oh, good. We'll go to the left.
I'll follow you.
Yeah.
You're going first? All right, it's a little
No, meat shield. Go in
meat shield
front.
going first.
Is it you or me this time? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right, here we go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, I guess the big man goes again.
Wait, so you won and so you're going first?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
That's how I play the game. How do you play it? Anyway, all right.
Paper is a
you
tool
go
of
first.
the week. Rock is clearly stronger.
It's definitely been built for someone small, for a child. You all fit, but it's it's a little tight squeeze. You have to get down on your hands and knees and kind of
Wait,
squeeze
but what
through.
about
Can
your
we see?
staff?
You can see there's
narrow
light coming in
passages.
from the. It's just a narrow pathway. You're doing that. Unfortunately, you don't actually get smaller or anything like that, but you feel like your equilibrium gets kind of perfect, and you're like, wow, I could kind of nobody could knock me over right now.
I'm so perfectly balanced in every way. It's just that adrenaline makes me that way. Can we explore a bit?
Yeah, so you crawl forward and you come across a little door. Again, like a kid-sized door with a little knob in it.
I'd like to open it. Is it okay with the team if I open it?
Yes.
All right, so I put my hand on the knob.
You reach forward, he turns the knob,
Turn the knob.
he pushes it open, and he crawls out into an attic space.
Hey, look, it's an attic space.
And it's been kind of decked out to look like a little girl's play space. There's a little sort of pretend kitchen set and a trunk with some dress-up
Smell?
materials.
Yeah, what's the
You
smell?
do smell a little bit of something like a dead rat around the area. Other things of note, there's a large full-length mirror, and there's a mannequin with a red dress on it, sitting next to a rocking chair.
That's creepy.
Stand in front of the mirror and admire my beautiful triceps.
As you look at that, you see the face of a woman standing behind you.
Why does this keep happening to me?
She doesn't seem to be doing anything, but she's standing there.
I'll grab my candle
Okay,
and shroud.
okay.
Grab hands. So I'll say, Insibre!
You throw the shroud in the center. Okay. As you start to chant, unfortunately the shroud, you can see it kind of shifting side to side, and then it gets shoved all the way to the other side of the room, and the candle goes out.
She's not interested in talking to us.
Lost.
I want to go up to the mannequin and look at the dress. Is it the same dress that was in the painting?
It is the same dress that it was in the painting.
This must have been
Well played.
Eleanor's dress? Who was in the painting? It was the painting that had the eyes cut out.
Right.
As you are standing there looking at the dress, a book flies from the side and hits you in the side of the head. You take 6 damage, bludgeoning damage from that book that hits you in the head and falls to the ground. We are in initiative, if you would like to roll.
Nish! Roll a Nish, brothers!
Natural 1. I've been rolling so well.
Shit, I rolled a 2.
2 for Anna and Ricky.
I have a 2 as well.
5 for Viros.
I'm at 11.
An 11.
There we go.
And Alistair?
16.
So Annabelle is actually a 4.
Oh, you're actually a 4. At that moment, again, Ricky, you feel something cold come up and sneak up your back. Suddenly, you fly through the air. No, you're gonna make a strength saving check. It's a strength saving throw against it.
That's not good. 14?
A 14.
Eat a good berry!
Oh, yeah.
You fly up to the ceiling of this and hit it, taking 3 damage. You then come to the ground and hit the ground, taking another 3 damage.
berry.
That. Alistair, it is your turn.
Yeah, spiritus redire!
Spiritus Redire, all right.
Power spirit.
It's a repel spirit. At that moment, you feel a gust of wind and things kind of whirl around, and the dress on the mannequin appears to kind of float up a little higher and then set back down on the ground. Up next will be, unless you want to do anything else.
I will grab the gnome, and as my move action, I'll pull him back and put him behind me.
Okay, okay,
I'll hold on to him too in case she tries to thrash him around.
okay. I'll allow that. Beryl, your turn.
Do I see anything?
You don't see
causing
anything.
this?
All you saw was that he got thrown up in the air, the book got thrown, and then the dress sort of hovered and then fell back down.
So it's a dress.
The dress hovered most
Okay.
recently.
I'm gonna reach into my flask, drink most of it,
Okay.
throw it on the ground, and then taking out my little flint and tinder, I'm gonna try to breathe fire onto the dress.
Onto the dress.
Yeah, just
Okay.
yeah, I saw it at a carnival once.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, so you just see Beryl take this high proof little flagon, throw it on the ground, and just go onto the
And
dress.
this flame goes forward. I think that's like a dexterity, so make a
Okay.
check and add your dexterity bonus.
Okay.
As the dragon in the room, I immediately start laughing.
18.
Strong. So you definitely you hit it strong, and this flame kind of lights up the dress, which starts to glow. The whole room goes a little kind of red and bright. Okay, Viros. Then anything else you want to do?
No,
Okay, great.
that's
Viros.
I raise my shield. I get right in front of Annabella just for defense, because there's a time for attacks and there's a time for smarts, which we know have an abundance of both. So anyway, I grab my shield and I just basically acrobatics or, whatever it takes, just to play defense for the moment, still taking it all in, protecting my team.
Okay.
Just in
So
defense.
we'll say like a hold action until, so when something happens, you'll jump in. All right, got you. Use your reaction for that. Annabella.
I would like to do. I don't know if I can't do a healing word, right? Because this is. Or can I do a healing word?
On whatever this thing is?
Yes.
No, I mean that
No.
wouldn't do anything. That would just be healing. There's someone hurting.
There's a hurting.
Can I put it to sleep?
You can try.
I would like to try and put this very angry thing to sleep
Okay.
so that we can leave this room.
Okay.
Do you agree with that, or you want to stay?
Are
you
you
want to talk
asking
to
me?
it?
What are you doing? Heal him! That's the spirit! You can't put the spirit to sleep!
I'm healing you.
There you go, Gary!
That was great.
There
He
you
was
go.
healed. You were healed.
Okay.
Get yourself back up.
So it's
Dust
your
yourself
healing
off.
word. You'll roll some dice for him.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
roll.
a
Hit
1d4.
points.
And then
Yeah.
your spellcaster modifier, which I believe
So
It's
it's
a
a
plus
2
plus 6,
plus
so
6,
8.
so 8.
So 8 points of healing.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's how you do it.
What's the word that you say?
It's actually a song.
Oh,
It's actually a little bit of a song.
5, 6,
5, 6, 7, 8. Get yourself up and touch both your elbows. Do a little dance and you are healed.
Hey.
Yay, 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 yay. Touch those elbows and you are healed.
Okay.
There's a spirit's head. I'm reminded of the moment that the human head spun in a circle, and I look at the bard and I immediately scoff. Useless!
Meanwhile, Beryl's spitting fire on a dress, and Beryl's just like, I don't know what to do.
I immediately run. I immediately
you're
run. and-
dancing.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
All right, Ricky.
Yes. So
I look at the leaf.
Thank you for that. So I'm being held like kind of down and behind you. I am going to reach in and thankfully I have padded myself so that big hits wouldn't crush the vials all over me.
Okay.
And who knows what would happen. But I do pull out a small vial that looks like it's, or a flask rather, that looks like it's a metal bird of some sort. And I unscrew the cap and then I pour some of it on your hand that's like holding me.
Yeah, sure.
And I've cast Owl's Wisdom on you with
Oh,
enhanceability.
great.
So,
Nice. +3 to my wisdom checks.
oh dang,
know
you
this?
already have advantage.
Is it
I
just
can use it.
advantage?
Cool. No, but you already have
it gives
advantage on wisdom.
Oh.
Well, he has advantage on checks specific to otherworldly spirit things.
Okay.
So he can get it just to his regular wisdom checks. It'll apply to everything else.
Sure.
Ultimate wisdom.
All right.
UW.
You're all sort of standing, waiting for something to happen as flames flicker on the dress. The trunk that has all of the sort of children's play clothes in it, the lid slams shut. Alistair, your turn.
How far is the play close? Should we map?
10 feet. We can map if you want. So, the attic is fairly small. Only about 20 by 20 up in the top here. This is where the mirror and the rocking chair is. This is going to be your trunk of clothes. You came in through a little door down there. The mannequin is off in this corner. So place yourselves where you think you would be.
Because you were talking to the mannequin, right? So you should be in front of it, or
I
the
wasn't
shield.
I grabbed you and pulled you into the corner.
Oh, okay. So we could go together.
So the top of the round. I'm gonna drop him because he's now been healed by the incredible bard and her action, which was one of the best moves ever. Thank you. I'm gonna go over and immediately try to open that chest.
Okay, so you run over to the chest.
Spirit, let me in! Well, I don't know why I screamed. I'm sorry, everyone at home. I got really excited about that.
You wrench the chest open, and inside you can see that the clothing and everything is all sort of disarray, but there's also things inside of there. Yeah, you'll make a check on it, so do an investigation.
This is a wisdom check.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I get advantage.
Investigation's an
advantage.
intelligence
Oh,
check.
it is,
intelligence.
yeah.
Because I just rolled a 3. So
You rolled a 3.
I'm telling you, my dice. I have the most incredible dice in the world, but they are killing me right now.
Okay, so you are unable to find anything. You start shifting through, but it's all this kind of
I'm
like
paying
hid
attention.
stuff, and you don't
I'm
know.
worried
And
you're gonna get hit. Yeah, yeah.
You're trying to see. You're worried something's going to come after you, and unfortunately, you can't make any heads or tails of what it is. It's just tiaras
Bard,
and boas.
look! Yeah, I'll say, Ricky, look! And
Ricky,
I'll
look.
immediately go back on the defense.
Okay, cool. Beryl, you are up next.
I'm going to take the dress, from the bottom, like of it, where hopefully not all the liquor fell.
Okay.
And attempt to like wrestle it off the mannequin.
Okay.
And try to like put it in the chest and then get the lid over it.
So I did a move action,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The thing is on fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I cast a cantrip, control fire?
No, because the
put it
investigation was your action.
That was
action.
my.
Of course,
Yeah.
you have to look through the chest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay, unless you can cast something as a bonus action, but I don't think you can.
I can.
You can?
I can. I'll quicken a spell.
Yeah, you wanna do that?
Yeah. So
Then go ahead.
As she catches the dress on
Okay.
fire, and then immediately starts to
go
play
kinda
with the
grab
fire,
it.
Yeah.
and I can't breathe and I'm tall.
Yeah.
As a cantrip, a quicken spell, I'm gonna
Okay.
suck up the fire and
Okay.
put it out.
So it all kind of disappears. You even see it kind of like sucks through the air into
Into my
where-
hand.
into
I'm
your
like,
hand.
no
You can
more
grab
fire,
it.
little one.
Well, you run over to the dress and start to pull it off the top of the mannequin.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then you're gonna run and try and throw it in this trunk?
Yeah.
Okay, so you run over to the
Try to
trunk,
contain
shoving
it.
him to the side,
Yeah.
lifting it up and throwing the dress in, and then what?
Yeah. Does it move?
Does the dress move?
Yeah.
The dress seems to be lying there still.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there then.
Okay, you're gonna stop there. So you slam the lid closed. All right, Viros.
So I'm looking around and just kind of I'm still on the defense because there's really nothing. Anything I might try to do physically is a mistake at this
Sit
point.
on the trunk. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, sit on it.
And I go, okay, good
So
idea.
you go and you sit on the trunk?
225, eat this.
With all your armor.
So you sit down in the trunk from there. Yeah, put him on there.
So I'm gonna sit there,
You're sitting on the trunk.
arms crossed.
Okay. Annabella?
We got
thoughts?
this.
Oh yeah.
The clothes that were inside the trunk, would they fit Ricky?
They might, yeah.
Can you hand me something? Just pull out.
Yeah, sure.
Give me like a onesie.
Okay, so I open the top of the
You
thing.
open it up, all
I'm
right.
still kind of on it a little
Yeah,
bit, but
okay.
like kind of leaning up and I
Pull out the first thing.
like,
It's like a frilly little apron that like a little girl
Okay.
would wear to kind of
How's
pretend
this?
to be.
I want you to play dress up and say that you're Luke. And maybe the brother, right? So maybe if you can speak out loud and say, I'm Luke, because you're, similar height, maybe we could get some information as to what's going on.
I trust you. I'll throw on the flowery apron.
I took your hat off. I fix your hair. Speak like a child. Talk to spirit.
I'm Luke.
It is your turn, Ricky, now, so you can do what you'd like to do.
While I have the apron on too,
Yes.
I'm going to look, because I'm right by it, look into the mirror.
As you look in the mirror, you see that
adjust my
standing
apron.
behind Viros is a tall, angry-looking woman, and she looks like she's about to pounce down on top of him.
why are you looking at me like that?
Viros, look out! She's going to get you! She's above you!
Annabella's right there. I'd hope she gets me.
No, the woman, the spirit, evil, bad! Run!
What are you talking about?
All right, so normally I would have advantage on this. I will get rid of that because now you know that she's there.
I look up.
You look up.
Oh.
15's not gonna hit you. So,
Do you see how she just looked at me and like didn't do anything?
as she's looking down at you, because you're aware, you kind of jerk to the side a little bit as he tells you something is there, as she attempts to slam her arm down on top of you, but she misses.
So I just jump off the thing.
You jump off the thing. All right, Alistair, you're up.
Can everyone see her?
Yes, if only in the mirror.
Only in the mirror. Okay.
You saw her in the mirror. No one else can see. You can't see her when you look up. Okay. You do see her now, though. She moves.
She's missed you, and she's moving.
Where is she?
You can take an op attack with disadvantage if you would like.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch at the air.
I mean, I'm
You have to target. I mean, the target would be just where he told you she was behind you as she goes away.
all right.
All right. Yeah.
I wanna do
attack.
that.
You attack with disadvantage, but you're targeting.
And roll.
Unfortunately, that's not going to do it.
This has hurt.
So at the top of the round.
We're at top of round now with Alistair. Yes.
So I'm gonna move to the mirror so I can see her.
Okay.
And I'll say, accessibit spiritus,
Okay.
which is to calm the spirit.
Okay. With that, you see her face contort and she screams. You don't hear it, but you see her mouth go wide and all of her face go crazy, and she shoots up higher so you can't see her in the mirror. She's above you somewhere now.
Can I make an Arcana check?
You may.
Do I feel like having done this my entire career
Yes.
and commune with spirits, but Matt having never played the spirit
Yes.
cat, whatever I am, a medium, did it work or did it not work?
With those spells, you're trying to quell an unwilling spirit, so they get a save against you.
I'm gonna continue to move. I'll manipulate the mirror.
Gonna keep manipulating the mirror
Yeah,
to try
so
and
the
keep
people
catching
can
her.
see, so the people can see where she is. Do
Okay,
you know what I
great.
mean?
So yeah, so you manipulate it, trying to get up, and you do catch her. She's hovering up at the top as if she's holding herself like a spider up against the top.
Good. I'll point her out. I'll say,
You're
"There
pointing
she
it out?
is."
All right, Beryl, your turn. You have a target, so you still roll at disadvantage, but you know where it is.
Beryl is gonna sort of enter a little bit that trance-like state again. Trance music. No, and Beryl at this point is convinced this, which may or may not be correct, that this spirit killed her children. I feel like
I've connected the pieces. This lady's dress is clearly in this room. She used to play with these kids. And that little girl died after having tea with this witch.
And as I enter my rage, sure enough, you start to see like the spirits start to come up off of my shoulders again. I've loosened from my belt hops and barley, my 2 little hand axes, and I'm gonna chuck them where I approximate she is, based off of where the mirror is.
What you can see. Okay, so you're doing 2 attacks, right?
Yes.
So you make 2 disadvantaged attack rolls.
Okay. With my first attack, since it's a reckless attack, that one I gain advantage on. So would that cancel out the
Yeah,
disadvantage?
let's go for it.
Sweet.
Yeah, so just a single roll.
So a 14 plus 7. So
You throw that one, you see it lodge right in the space in the mirror that you can see, and she sort of feels it in her shoulder.
That's a hit.
Now, if it's in her, we can see the
See
axe
it.
moving?
Targeting.
No, you see it go you see it kind of go through her, and she feels it as it goes through and lodges in the wall behind her.
Got it.
Apologies, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then should I roll damage on that first then?
Yes, roll damage on that.
All right. That is a 7.
Okay. As that happens, though, you do see that while it goes through and you can see her kind of snarl as it happened, it does seem to knit itself back up a little bit, the wound. You want to make your other attack?
Yeah, sure. And this one's with
This one
disadvantage.
is with the disadvantage.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a 15 plus 7.
Fantastic.
So
Other one also does the same thing, goes through closer to her belly,
That's a hit.
through and hits through the back. Roll your damage.
I'm calling him out.
And logs in the back, lodges in the back behind her.
That's another 7.
Again, it sort of seems like whatever she's made of, it kind of knits back together a little bit from that.
I call to the rest of the group.
It's not working.
Virus.
No, it is working.
No.
It is
It
working.
is. I can see, right? She's
differ.
taking damage.
You can look and you can see that she's taking it, just not as much as you'd hope. So, Virus, you just watched Beryl throw hobs and barley, and they go through and they stick through, but Alistair keeps telling you that it is hitting, even though you can't see what you're shooting at. What is your turn?
So now it's time to bring out the big guns, as it were. I've acquired an axe of life stealing.
What?
I feel this is the time to use it. So I square up where the target may be and where we've seen certain damage supposedly happen.
It is invisible, so you're going to roll at disadvantage, and we'll take the lower. So roll 2 d20s, please.
Gotta do 2. Sure. So it's 3.
3. All right, the first one, you throw it, it goes up, it misses, and it bounces and falls to the ground.
Ooh. I have an extra attack.
You missed!
I lunge at it, pick it
got
back
it.
up,
Back up.
dust myself off, click my neck, both sides.
Come on, brother.
Roll again.
You
Roll
gotta use
disadvantage
the
again.
mirror.
Unfortunately,
Terrible.
he's on the ground, he rolls around, he tries and he tosses it back up, but again, it kind of goes sideways and falls, clatters to the ground off to the side.
That's why you're throwing
It's
axes.
new. I'm
No,
not.
I get it. It's hard.
I am going to do a minor illusion
Okay.
in a child's voice
Okay.
from a whisper to a scream directed at the ceiling.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to say, Mommy, you killed me. Mommy, you're killing us. Mommy,
Why are
you're
you
killing us."
making it matter?
Yeah. Whisper to a scream. Mommy, you killed me. Mommy, you're killing us. Mommy, you're killing us. Over and over and over again.
In a little
Deafening.
child's voice, as if it's like somewhere floating in the air. Mm-hmm. You all start to hear that. There's this little plaintive voice, Mommy, Mommy, you're killing us. Mommy, please, Mommy. You in the mirror looking at the image of this terrifying woman hunched in the corner, suddenly her eyes go wide and she sort of starts to look around as if she's trying to place where this voice might be coming from.
I'm here in the corner. Yeah, good move. Maybe. There's this rocking chair that's near me, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna climb into the rocking chair.
Okay.
And I've got my little frock on. And I'm gonna start saying, Mommy, you killed me! Mommy, you killed me!
Back and forth. Just because I like it? Performance check.
Yeah! Oh, 20.
A 20.
Wait, it's 26.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you sit down, and I don't know where this came from, but like immediately you look like a little tiny child just rocking around. You look so scared and alone, and oh, it's amazing, that look. You again see in the mirror that she's searching around for that, but as soon as she sees that, her eyes come down to that rocking chair. Slowly you watch as she descends very slowly and starts to float.
It's working.
Over the rocking chair image, looking down at this child. She turns around again and flies back towards the trunk, which she opens up and seems to sink down beneath the floor.
Through the trunk?
Through the trunk into the floor.
Well played, brothers and sisters. Well done. You can take that frock off now. It's freaking me out. That was an amazing move. Well played. She's gone for now.
For now. It is your turn, Alistair, if you want to finish anything up.
I was going to cast Alter Self, but I was... No, good. I think that's it.
Well, that was an ordeal. Perhaps we should take this mirror with us if it will allow us to see not just this spirit, but maybe any spirit.
That's a good suggestion.
Maybe somebody carry it.
I'll definitely carry it.
Let's at least bring it down into a common area so it's accessible to us.
Well played. Smart.
Picking it up is fairly easy for this man, so I just pick it up.
You pick it up, however you find as you go back to the tight channel that you came through to get through. While you can fit it in, it won't turn the corner.
And that's okay, because didn't use it before, can use it now.
For what purpose?
To widen the space.
It doesn't widen the space.
It just gives you equilibrium.
It gives you perfect balance.
Can he can he like break his way through so the mirror can get in?
You
Like he would kind of destroy
You
it
want
a
to break
little
the
bit?
mirror?
No.
Destroy the tunnel.
Yeah, just
You want to
chisel
try
it.
for that? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Okay.
everyone goes through before you
Just gonna hand axe the sides to, to
weight
smithereens.
bearing load and everything.
I can sniff those out. I know where to swing.
Before we leave the room, though, while I'm sitting in this rocking chair, I just want to kind of look it over a bit.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Would you like to roll it for me?
I would love to roll it
It's
for
a
you.
+3.
+3. Okay. You start feeling around and feeling in the slats, and there's a little blanket that's been sort of folded over the back, and within that blanket, you feel a little diary. that you pull
Nice.
out.
Gimme.
Well played, brother. Well played.
Oh, boy.
Lots to read.
Lots to read.
If you would like me to summarize.
Yes, please.
Let's summarize what you read. There are specifically within this 3 journal entries that you think are interesting, and you're reading this while he's hacking away,
Sure.
trying to widen the space to get the mirror out. It seems to be Eleanor Bentham's diary, and in it, the first entry talks about this lovely, happy family. She loves Morgwin so much, and she's so pleased that he built this beautiful home for her and Katrin to live in. The second entry, however, suggests that Katrin has died in a fire. She blames Morgwin, and Morgwin blames her. She blames him for building a faulty house. He blames her for not keeping a better eye on the child.
And also,
Yes.
we buried her in the mausoleum beneath the house.
Yes, it mentions that as well. In the final entry, it is much later, and it talks about how they despise each other now. They no longer speak while they live in the same house together. There is no love between them. They fester and grow old.
Are you reading this aloud?
Yes, I'll read it out now. Through the construction.
Yes, through the construction of storytelling. But yes, and it's one of the big clues that there is a mausoleum. And she
knew
talks
it.
about how she used to come here and sit to try and remember her daughter
Right.
after she died. She talks about how she often spent time in the library, but that she has figured out a way to keep Morgwin out, and she brought it up here with her,
Up here into the room.
up into her the attic space that she's been spending
So
time.
we'll go to the chest. When he finds this, I start to go through
Go through the chest again? All right. While you're going through there, you find a very ornate wooden doorknob, that
Perfect.
has a little piece at the back.
Perfect. So there you go.
So he's able
As you're
to
going
break
through
through,
that-
and you're just able to and push it out through into the other room. And you
got
made
it.
The
You're
mirror
not
is out.
useless at all.
Work.
Who said I was useless?
I did.
Fair.
I see you found the key. It's a weird looking key.
I think we should head back down, yeah?
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
You go down the stairs, you've got the mirror hefted up underneath your arm. You come down into the main stairway again and go up this little steps to find your door.
Yeah.
It does slot into that piece to the left.
Okay. Is it okay if I stand up?
Please.
Okay.
Go manipulate.
Let's go.
You're gonna
try and
stand
do
on
this.
top of Eros again?
Yes, I am.
Ready?
Yes.
Go for
He
it.
puts the mirror down and comes and kneels in front of the door.
If we're starting here, I assume that we're going to want to get to here to
Aye.
have the doorknob there
That appears to be it,
open.
yes.
So this is not moving.
Copy that.
So let's move backwards from there. Okay? So we'll start here.
You're so good.
Well, thank you.
That's good.
And let's see.
You have to go down, you can't go up. You have to go left. And then maybe there, yeah. And then, yeah. And then down
So
again.
close.
Oh, no, you can go up. You can go up. That can go up.
Oh, this is another non
Oh, it is. Okay, so it has to go down.
Down.
Continues down, brother.
So with these pieces,
Sorry, that's just
That's just
poor
with
construction
homemade.
on Morgwin's behalf.
with these pieces, they have more than one option. So I'm wondering if while we move it, we'll have to switch it to go back into another path, just to keep that option open.
Good to know.
Yep.
And then go up, but then you have to go there, and then it's
Okay.
circular, so that does not work.
So it might though, if we can get from here.
You give it a shot and you move the knob into that one, and as soon as it's in there, you can no longer spin it.
Got it.
So you can only spin them when they're free.
This is gonna take it. Ladies and gentlemen, go home and
We
take
got this. We
Take
got this.
10. We're gonna figure it out.
We could try the other option and go around.
That's what I'm saying. So this has to be down. This could be left or right. This goes there, but that does not. Oh, this could go there. This could go down. So this could go down. This could go there. This could.
Doesn't move.
It doesn't move.
What about
okay.
the one above it? The little X?
Yes, that does move.
So
Everyone, get on Varys's back.
Everyone stand there.
Couldn't we
So-
do this? Now you could go either. Oh, is this one? No, this one.
this doesn't move. So
Oh,
that's-
there.
That goes like.
Oh, detour. There you go.
That doesn't go. Oh wait. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Okay, let's try.
Wait. Boom.
has to
Let's
be
just
perfect.
reconfirm. Boom, 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 boom.
I can connect, yes.
Boom, 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 boom,
You take the knob, you slide it through the notches and find your way around. It goes all the way down, up and around, and latches into that final spot where you hear a click.
And I twist it.
You twist it. The whole.
Can I do a perception check for a spirit?
You may.
I mean, it's so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have this whole special background.
No,
and
it's so amazing, and I just cannot roll. Sorry.
No worries. So he kind of comes up, puts his hand on it, but he's not getting anything. So you push the door. The whole wall seems to kind of come back and slide off to the side as you enter into a very dark library.
It's a dark library.
There are books everywhere. There are long drapes that come from the ceiling, books on almost anything. And there's a large fireplace in the center that doesn't look like it's been lit in quite a long time.
I'll light it.
You're gonna light the fireplace?
Yep.
When you light the fireplace, there's this sort of lovely flickering glow, and it's a very deep fireplace.
Okay.
Did you magically light it?
I do, yeah. With a cantrip, come to 12 fire.
I'll hop off of Viros's back.
Yeah, the firelight sort of flickers around. It's a very kind of beautiful room. It's very dusty. It does feel like no one has been in here in a very long time. You can even see it floating in the air a little bit. The small shafts of light that come through the drapes.
Grab the mirror.
Pick it up,
Pick it up and search around.
turn around, do like a 360.
Hold, please. We need to lock the door.
Oh, right.
Okay.
But it was open when we got there.
That wasn't the rule, and you know it.
Plus, the spirit descended from it, if we're trying to keep it in.
I'm just focused on the room, having a
Great.
sense that
Okay.
So I'm just.
I know the door is a problem, but I'm gonna focus here.
Okay. So you scan the room with that
slowly.
mirror, real slow, and you don't see anything.
I'll take a pass with my spritz bottle again.
Okay. Spritzing around, casting.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't sense anything magical in this room, other than the mirror.
I'll enter the room.
So yes, you enter the room. You come in.
I enter as well.
Okay.
I'm already in,
everyone's
and I set
inside.
it down.
You set the mirror down,
Yeah.
looking around. Yeah, you don't see anything in the mirror that suggests that she's followed you down here. Although the attic space would be right
Directly
above this.
above it. Okay.
Well, she
And
went
she said-
down.
Yeah.
Right.
And that means she went through.
She could
She's
have.
not in here.
She could have been by the
That means
mausoleum, maybe.
she's. Viros, break the floor.
Oh,
No, hold
Wait
on.
now.
Why
That
not?
might be stairs somewhere.
Right.
So she protects this room from him because this is where she shares
This is her safe space.
her safe space. Okay.
She was
Was it?
keeping the
Yeah.
key away from him upstairs in the rocking chair.
Right.
Does that mean there's something special here?
Well, maybe below it is the tomb.
Yeah.
So we don't have to break the floor? I still don't see why we can't just break the floor.
I believe there is a secret passage that connects to the library, or the library from something else. That is something that Mrs. Powell mentioned.
Yes.
But they weren't able to access the library.
They weren't able to access it. She knows that she knew of the entrance to the library, but she nor Simon have ever been able to get in.
Can we do a check, like on the bookshelves and
Want
on
to look
the
at the
books?
bookshelves? Yeah.
To
Do
see
an
if-
investigation on the bookshelves.
20.
Oh!
natural 20.
A natural 20. The books don't seem to be an entrance or any kind of thing like that. You're pretty certain of that. However, there are lots of books on puzzles and designing secret passageways and things like that. This is clearly a library of someone who knows and loves those things and researched them.
I say let's continue out.
Where?
I don't know.
Would you look at a book or two about the puzzles? Maybe there's a clue in there about...
Well, we figured it out, right? We need to get to the bottom of why she's so angry, right? I mean, that's why we're here.
So we don't know which mother she is, but we do know that she had affected her children in some way and feels some sort of grief.
Or
and
child.
Right, and we have this diary, so I'm assuming that this is Eleanor, the spirit that we're dealing with.
Right.
And so maybe we can find some sort of family records or history or something to scour this area. So I'll start checking the books and seeing
You're
if
going
I
to
can
check the
find-
books? All right, yeah, make an investigation check.
Okay. If you wanted to do it, it's a +3.
Oh, okay, yeah. I keep getting to do my own house rule. You look at the books and there's not much really popping out to you. They all seem kind of, the ones you looked at least seem kind of general.
And then within the library, what sort of furniture is in here? Are there chairs?
Yeah,
or-
there are a couple of sort of armchairs and a little table with, like a little gas lamp on it.
I'm gonna look at the fireplace.
Okay, make a perception or investigation. Let's do an investigation.
Oh gosh, I'm not good at that.
If she's looking at the fireplace, I'll take the fire out.
Okay.
16.
Ooh, very nice. You sort of spread across the ash, and as you're looking through, because he put it out, and you're kind of looking towards the back of it. And again, as you brush up against it, the stone pushes a little bit back.
What?
Perfect.
Well done.
Yes, very good. I also
Where
cut
there's
the curtains.
smoke,
Oh,
when there's
Well played. Well
Annabella
said.
taught me this. When there
Well
is a
said.
fire, there's a smoke,
I
and
take
if
a
you
nap.
follow the smoke,
In the middle of this.
you can see. See, sir, you doubt the wisdom, but the wisdom, the proof in
Aye.
the where there's pudding. Sometimes in that pudding,
Just gotta let her get through it.
I
get a
know.
key.
Good work.
Well done. Well said.
done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so does a door open?
You push it back, and as it pushes back again, kind of a crawl space, but you see stairs that go down into
Nice,
the
there it is.
Look,
There's the
stairs.
most. No need to break the floor, love.
I think that would have been faster. We've
I
been
know.
looking at books for so many books.
Right.
I
So many
volunteered to
books.
go down the
I
stairs
do just want to
first.
say, wait, I took the curtains, I made a bag, and I took some of the puzzle books. No, we might need those.
No, you're right.
I took the books. I've got I'm a bag lady. I took some of the books about puzzles because they might come in handy when we get down
Okay,
to the
great.
tomb, so they're with me.
You've got it. Fantastic.
Can you hold it, please?
I'd like to go first.
Here's
Give
he's
it
got
to
the
the orc.
vine bag and then another little
I've got
cloth
enough.
one.
Great.
Rock, scissors,
Hire
paper.
the half orc.
We left the doll in the tea set, but
it's
you
only
still
one
have the
bag.
vine bag?
Okay, I see. Yeah, you gave Matilda and the
Right.
tea
Yeah,
set
we left the
to
items,
Gwyn.
yes.
Okay, got it.
Before we go in, can I
Yes.
say a prayer into my locket?
Of course you may.
Oh, nice.
What do you
This
say?
is kind of nerve-wracking, and I say,
Ancestors, please keep me and my friends safe, including the new guy. He's kind of weird, but he's also kind of cute and smart. And please don't let spirits eat us. Thank you.
You see a little swirl of light in the center of it, and as you close it, you can kind of feel it's almost harder to close, like you've trapped those words inside the locket.
I smile.
All right, so you guys go down the stairs?
So go down the
All
stairs
right,
first.
you go down the stairs, you're ahead. As you come down, you come out into what does appear to be a mausoleum. All along the space, you can see that there are candles that had at one point been lit, as if people have come down and kind of paid their respects. Along the wall, you see plaques. There are, at this point, 4 plaques on the wall. One of them reads, Katrin Benthem, age 6, please come back. Morgwyn Benthem, aged 83, may he find rest. Eleanor Benthem, aged 81, may she find peace. Luke and Gwendolyn Benthem, aged 9. Lost too soon, as they shared a womb, they share a tomb. Oh. Below each of these plaques, you can see that someone has taken something like a knife or a chisel and made these weird kind of markings in them, like indentations. Underneath those indentations, you see the little crest of Benthem Manor, little bees, and they sort of are the same for each of these.
Like the letter B.
The letter B.
Not a B.
No, not a B, yes. Little bees.
Does it look like the etchings are language-based, or are they manic?
Looking at them for you, you can see there feels like there's some kind of pattern, but you just can't discern it.
How many markings are there underneath each of the plaques?
There are lots of little markings, but they all seem to be kind of flanked by these two symbols of a bee.
Arcana check. If I cast read language, do I feel like it would give me an insight to it?
This does not look like any kind of a
at all.
language,
Okay,
no.
good. Okay. Do we want to map the room?
We can.
No!
Sorry, guys.
We're all dead.
So this is slightly larger. This is where your stairs came down, and there's plaques along the wall.
Okay.
There's nothing back here?
There's candles and things on the floor and old wax drippings and
I'll light the candles.
oh, very nice. It's a very lovely kind of low flickering light.
I'm not exactly sure how your ritual magic works, but if we were to cast something here, if it's a mausoleum, I assume there are lots of spirits. Are we in danger of...
I mean, you know me and my spirit perception check. Allow me to take a moment.
Let's see what you got.
18.
An 18.
There we go.
I mean,
You actually don't sense any spirits in this space. You sense actually a real sense of peace. And you feel that perhaps if spirits could that the separation is what's causing this kind of turmoil right now.
So can
we get her down
Yep,
here.
let's go get Sarah.
Bring her down.
Let's bring her down very gently. And should we maybe get
Well-
Gwendolyn too?
Here's the thing that's interesting. Gwendolyn, I mean, I'm not sure how perceptive she is, but she said that the bad man was the only one that could pass throughout the house. And we just saw this woman ghost pass through the floor to another room.
But maybe she was returned here. Maybe she's interred, like her spirit went back to find peace. Can I do a check?
I'm going to be a knowledge check, again with advantage towards this.
So
And it
is
can
that-
be intelligence if you'd like.
Okay. 16.
Okay. In your experience of spirits, most spirits tend to be tied to the place where they died and they're unable to leave. However, other spirits that have particularly strong energies can move more freely. However, one way and one reason why a spirit might possess a physical body is in order to gain the ability to
move.
physical movement.
Oh, that's
to
awesome.
move.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Yes.
We've promised her this, and we could have left without doing this, but perhaps we should return Luke to Gwyneth. Those spirits might return to the mausoleum, and it seems like if this is Morgwen that is inhabiting Sarah's body, he just wants to be reunited with his family.
Right.
How do we find Luke?
That's the question. Is there anywhere we haven't looked?
She said
Not
he
yet,
played
but-
in the greenhouse.
In the greenhouse, but we were in there. What if we bring her down? Sarah, yeah.
Let's bring Sarah down. I'm all about that.
I like it.
And then I,
I don't
think
really want
that's
to touch her. She's creepy, but I'll do it for you guys.
I would feel better if we resolved the other matter first. That's just my opinion. Because I
Okay,
feel
keep
like,
looking for Luke. Is that what you want to do?
yes, if we could go back to the greenhouse and maybe sense a spirit there,
Aye.
and maybe convince him to come with us or
All
figure out
right.
what his problem is.
Okay.
Ugh, kids, am I right?
Sure.
Well, maybe
give it a
Luke
shot.
is here.
To the greenhouse.
To the greenhouse.
All
So
right.
we make our way up to the
You run
room.
up the stairs to the greenhouse. As you come in,
lock the door
You
before
lock
we-
the okay.
Okay.
You lock the
Okay.
doors behind you.
We lock
Close
both
everything
doors.
down.
Wait, we do
Fantastic.
this lock?
You come into the greenhouse. You gonna do try and commune or sense
I'll
or
try
what?
to sense
All right,
the
try to
spirit.
sense.
Do you want to roll for me?
Sure.
In the name of DMing.
In the name of DMing, see if I do any better.
-1.
With advantage, though.
With
You don't
advantage.
sense any spirits.
Advantage. Okay, good. All right, so he's not here, so I say we go get Sarah and bring her
Let's
down.
get Sarah.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
And there's no other, just real quick, there's
Yes.
no other, the kitchen, there's a discussion about kitchen
Yes,
and
the
gorging
dining room, the
themselves.
kitchen. So there's doors in the hallway to go to that.
We'll go in there.
Okay, so you're gonna go over there, unlock the doors
Lock and
into
lock
the
and-
dining room,
Yep.
make your check.
Do you want to do it for me? I'm gonna do. I got it. You want to do it for me?
Oh, much better. Yeah, you hear a little bit of laughter
Hey.
in the dining room.
In the dining room.
So we go to the dining room.
Go to the dining room.
And grab hands. Everybody grab hands.
Throw it out. Yes.
La cantor spiritus. La cantor spiritus.
The
La
shroud
cantor
in the
spiritus.
center begins to slide up, and again you see a small figure. This one, however, appears to be wearing glasses.
Look, we've been looking for you, little one.
We've
You
been
know my
looking
name.
for you.
Hi. We've been looking for you, and it's so nice to finally find you, little one.
Wow, someone to play with.
Hi.
Wonderful. Have you seen Gwyneth?
We have, and we want to bring you two together.
I'd love to see Gwyneth.
Here's what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do?
Do you have the ability to put your body into Ricky's body?
Oh, sure I do.
Wow, that's convenient.
Hi, stay with me. Don't lose focus. Now is the time to be paying good attention. I want you to take your little spirit and put it in his body right proper like. Ready?
My, oh my.
Set. Ricky, good luck. Oh dear. Go!
The shroud starts to move towards you. As it does, it falls to the floor, and you feel this chill come up inside of you. You are now Luke. For a little while. You are possessed.
Do you want to play him or?
I think you should do it.
Boy,
But I will clue you on things.
hello.
It's been a long time since you felt a hug. Yeah. Bring it in here. I'll hug the little one.
Hugs the ones. He feels the scales. And,
Nothing like hugging a huge dragon.
Come with me.
Okay. I raise my hand up.
Yes, you're gonna hold your hand.
Yeah, so we'll take him.
And you can see the bright little light in Ricky's eyes of a very young boy.
Do me a favor. Lock the door behind us, would you?
You lock the dining room door and come out. As you come around this way, he says, "Are we off to see Gwyneth?"
Are we off to see Gwyneth?
Hi, we're going to take you right to her.
She's my favorite sister.
She wants to play with you too.
Oh.
You run
made her a
upstairs. You run upstairs and into the room, and as you come up there, you can see there's a little blue sort of floating light that comes close, and they meet at the little children's table. As they sort of sit there, you feel this presence kind of come out of your body as you sort of fall back onto the floor, and these two lights sort of dance on either side of the table, and they begin to dance and move within each other, and all of the etchings on the table of the leaves and things begin to swirl and spin in this little wind, and the light brightens and goes out.
Beryl starts crying.
It's okay. It's okay.
What happened?
It's very tender.
Where am
It
I?
makes me miss my sister.
That is true. So as Ricky comes out of this possession, he has a vague sense of sort of that he's moved place and can kind of remember some of it, but he doesn't remember very much.
Did we did it?
We did
That was
it.
beautiful.
Aye, we did
Family
it
is so
indeed.
important.
Oh, I missed it.
Beans.
It's okay.
Let's continue.
It's such a beautiful, tender moment between two siblings.
A few more tender moments is what we need.
Perhaps now we might be able to convince Morgwin to leave the body and go back to the mausoleum. Reunite him with his family.
Or we bring her
That's
down.
going to be a
right?
domestic
Right?
issue there.
Could be.
You make an investigation check for me.
Okay. 11.
You came out of your days of this, and just as you're watching, these sort of papers that are on the floor, these etchings of the leaves that you looked at before, they kind of settle down, and something sort of pricks the back of your mind. Something about this is important.
Do the leaves form some sort of shape?
No, but you can see next to them there are crayons next to the leaves and some extra tracing paper.
Well, it seems I don't know what the importance of this is, but something here is ring-a-ding-ding-bell. Something with these etchings and this crayon and tracing paper. Anybody?
There's no sign of the leaves anywhere, right?
No, the leaves have long since sort of
Okay.
dissipated, broken apart.
What, Ricky, do you want a color?
Kinda.
Hand you the crayon.
Thank you.
It'll
Maybe
make you
something
feel
about
better.
Luke having been in your body for a moment. You're just having a feeling of like, yeah, I really kind of want to make some etchings.
Make some etchings. Sit down and draw.
Okay,
I'm gonna play my mandolin.
great.
Do you want
could-
accordion
you could
backup?
inspire me.
You want to inspire?
Can you do? Yes. Can you
course.
grab the accordion?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Full jam session.
You're about to see a show.
I have no idea what's happening, but I stand watch at the door.
So you start to draw. You're going to give him like a D8, I think, from your bardic inspiration. Yes.
8.
An 8, fantastic. And you are also inspiring with all of this. As you start to draw, you're feeling very, very inspired, and something about Luke's presence. You find yourself drawing a picture of the mausoleum.
I want to examine the picture.
You examine the picture. As you look on it, in that picture that you have drawn, on the plaques, you've marked those little markings, those hatch marks that someone had carved into the plaques.
Look how detailed I've been. I should have been an artist.
Well, it's fantastic. I think we need to go to the mausoleum.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well said. Brother, I'll follow you.
Sounds good.
So you all run down the stairs. You take your stuff with you?
The etchings?
Yes.
Yes.
Take all that with you, and you come down the stairs into the library, go behind the fireplace, and back down into the mausoleum.
Closing every door and locking it behind
Locking
us.
everything behind you. You got it.
I'll spread out the etchings and then look at the map that I've made as well and see if I can orient myself to match it.
Yeah, you orient yourself, and it's basically as if you were standing right here. And you can kind of, again, you see these things, and it's so interesting to you that they all have this same little marking underneath them.
All of them do.
All of them have that same marking.
We'll take tracing paper and trace the glyph. Or the,
That's what you see. That's on Katrin's.
I take the next one and go to the next glyph. I go to the next one and the next glyph. Okay, great. So this is the, there you go.
Bring it over. What's it say? Read it.
Oh, that's a spell. That is a spell. Oh. Hold on a second. I was so far away and I'm blind and old. Immuda spiritus. Obviously this means bring them together.
You do speak Latin and you read it. It says, Immunda spiritus exilium. It means unclean spirit, I banish thee. It is an exorcism incantation.
Oh, fantastic.
Stay with me. I know what to do.
Okay.
So we'll go up to the room.
You're going to back up to the master suite?
To lock every door behind us. I open the door. Here's what I want to say. As soon as I banish this spirit, prepared to battle for our lives, grab that mirror, boyo, and bring it with us.
Will do.
Have that axe in your hand. You have magic. Get ready to wield it. We'll be fighting for our lives. Don't half-step. Meat shields, do your job.
I love that term, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Let's get
We'll
them.
open the door.
Let's knock them dead again. Hey,
We'll open the door.
Yep.
because they're already dead. Get it? So
Are
there's
you
like
fully
a play.
healed?
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm only 4 points down.
I give you my good berry.
Oh, thank you.
Is
You should hold on to this.
So I insist. So we'll enter the room,
Okay.
and her partner is there.
As you walk in, you see Mary lies in the floor, unconscious. Sarah stands on the bed, and she watches you as you enter, as though she was expecting you.
You've come to do battle, have you?
It is time for you to go.
Try your worst.
We
I
intend to.
bring you my best. Intumira spiritus immunda. That's wrong, but I say it with passion.
And her whole head kind of goes back, her body contorts, she goes backwards in a back bend, her head coming back through her legs as her legs come down on the ground. Repeat your thing again.
Immunda spiritus exilium. Immunda spiritus exilium.
As she starts to turn and toss around on the
Immunda
bed,
spiritus
you hear a
exilium.
horrible scream, but at least this scream sounds like a woman. As a blue light emerges from out of her body on top of the bed, floating above is a tall, thin, ghostly apparition of a man with a top hat, and he holds a cane.
Oh, what a bastard.
Smash him!
All right. The ghost rises out of the body of Sarah Benthem, who falls down onto the bed in an unconscious heap, and he lies above, and you see he's tall and thin, and he wears a top hat and a cane, and we will roll initiative.
Roll an ish, bravo.
Roll ish.
11.
Barrel is out of 10.
I'm at 17.
17.
I'm a 19.
Ricky?
I'm also at 17, and my dex is +1.
So you'll go first, Ricky. Okay.
8.
Okay. All right. Annabella, you see this happening. He rises above the bed, looking threateningly at you. What do you do?
I do a hypnotic pattern. Can I weave a pattern of thorns?
Sure. You can make it look however you want. Your hypnotic pattern is thorns.
No, it's
intertwining.
nails. I want to weave a pattern of nails.
Intertwining, terrifying nails.
The scariest mother nails you've ever
you got
seen.
It. And this
And
is
you're talking about hammer nails, not like fingernails.
Right.
Fingernails!
You're welcome.
The sharpest
the
fingernails.
scariest, most hypnotic
It's got
fingernails.
a lot less dangerous.
Yeah. No, let's do regular nails. I
Sorry.
liked it. but- Okay. It's like hammer nails. It's like nail
Right.
guns up there.
Right. So this is an enchantment that you're doing, or is it an illusion?
Well, it's
Help me out here. Does it say it's a charming effect?
wisdom
Charm
saving.
save.
It is
with a
charm.
failed save. Wisdom save.
All right, so unfortunately, you make this huge pattern of nails intertwining. The ghost looks at it and laughs and looks back in your face.
I don't think it worked.
Ricky, you're up next.
I'm going to rush over and check on the doctor that is
All right.
unconscious on the floor.
So you rush over to the side.
Yeah.
You're pretty much there, over there.
You see the big ghost there, don't you? Don't you come? Can't we check on her later?
Not my department.
Oh my lord.
All right, yes, what are you going to do? Once
I
you
would
get
like to do a medicine roll.
there? Medicine roll? Go for
Yeah.
it. Just to stabilize or?
Either stabilize or check her condition
Okay,
type of thing.
great.
Not great. 12.
A 12. You go over there, as far as you can tell, she's unconscious. She doesn't seem to be dead to you, but you're not quite sure what else to do for her.
Okay. Does she seem injured in any way?
You can't tell.
Copy.
You can't tell how she lost consciousness.
Got it.
All right, Beryl, your turn.
Beryl. I face down this big blue ghost and say,
You've brought shame upon your family and subjected your children to tyranny, but your terror ends today.
and as I say this, I'm going to pick up my great axe and just like bring it down through him.
Through
Because
him?
I'm anticipating that it's going to go through.
Okay, so you step up to the foot of the bed, so
Yeah.
you're right up next to him as he sort of hovers 5 feet in the air above it.
So my first attack is my reckless attack, so I'll gain advantage on this one, but
Go for
if he
it.
attacks me, he also gains advantage.
Okay, right.
So that might be worth noting.
It is.
I'm also going to go ahead and enter my rage.
Woo!
Yeah. Which will give me some resistance to his attacks, hopefully.
Great.
Ooh, I got a nat 20.
Oh boy.
This is becoming. I feel like I'm like this is becoming a domino effect because
Yeah.
I'm a barbarian.
Yeah.
So I have savage attacks. So on my criticals, I roll one of my weapon's damage dice a second time and add it.
It's awesome.
So is that 3 times?
Yeah, I guess that would mean 3 times.
Yeah.
So you're rolling 3 of your damage die and adding your modifier.
Yes.
Go for it. Give
my
me your
gosh.
first attack damage.
Okay, let's see.
On that.
So it's a.
So she strides forward.
Oh, this
her
is
axe
Betty.
over her head.
Right, and that's a great axe. So I get to use my D12
Betty slices down.
for a 10.
wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Plus 4 slashing damage.
Yeah.
So that's a 14. And then a 9. And then 12.
So the way that we're going to roll this with your savage attack as well as your crit hit. So on the crit, you're going to get 2 rolls of your damage die, and then we're going to add a 3rd roll of your damage die for your savage attack.
Okay.
We'll add your modifier once
Okay.
to that, but then we're also going to add +2 because you are raging.
Perfect.
which is
Awesome.
really awesome. So your first roll was a 10.
Okay.
Your second was a 4.
Yes.
So that's 14. And then another, what was the
I had
last
an
one?
8.
And then an 8. So you're up to
22.
22 in total on that. And we're going to add 2 more, which is 24.
24, and then the plus 4 slashing.
The +4 to that is
Yeah.
28.
28 slashing damage.
Fantastic.
What
so
a
yeah,
swing.
Barrel, silently
Barrels
forward.
forward.
Barrels forward. And with almost no more fear in her eye and a righteous, justice, she slides it over her head. It comes right down through the center of him. You can't hear it, but you see his mouth open wider than any human mouth ever could. And he lets out a shriek. He does knit back up somewhat on that attack, but man, did that hurt.
Ooh, good,
All right,
good.
anything else? Oh, you're doing a second attack?
I could do a second attack here if I wanted to. This one does not have
want to.
advantage.
No advantage on this.
Ricky's on the ground.
Yeah. So see, while he's knitting back up,
Yes.
I prepare my great axe
Pull
for
it
a
around.
second swing. Yeah. So this one I have 15.
15 to hit, you hit.
Perfect. 7.
So 7 on that. So yeah, again,
totally hit, but it sort of the wound that you kind of make as it slides through his incorporeal form kind of knits back up a little bit again.
And as I do this, I let out a big like bring it.
He does the same, but again, it's sort of it's like a high pitch as he kind of reaches forward and screams in your face. Viros.
I'm going to be using my axe of life stealing. And I'm attacking twice.
All right.
And I'm using my action surge to push myself beyond my reasonable limits to attack again.
All right. You can see him. So we'll count that as 2 of your rolls.
Okay.
So you got an 18 on one, so you hit the first one, you missed the second one. Right. You want to roll the third?
Oh, yeah.
Natty 1.
Yeah.
So, this is unbelievable.
Disgusting.
It's the worst I've ever rolled.
You disgust me.
But I've got my...
So you got the first one. Roll the damage on your first hit.
Before you fall down.
It's a D6
it's a 6 for that one.
6 plus 3 on that.
3, 6.
6, but you'll get all of it. You do see that as that first slash goes through, that one doesn't heal itself up again.
There we go. So that's a 6. Oh, boom.
Why are you rolling a second?
Didn't you have 3? I get 3 damage on that?
No.
Oh, no, it's just my 1.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it was plus your 3. So yeah, so you only hit the once.
So I hit the once.
Hit the once. On the flub on the last one, you miss him and you actually slash into the post of the bedstand off to the side, which allows that to fall to the ground, crashing. Sarah rolls off onto the ground next to you. Make your 4th attack.
Okay. 7.
Plus?
My 6. Wait, is it 6?
Plus 6?
6.
You hit.
Okay. I'm just so down on these rolls.
So do your damage.
Oh my god.
What is it? A 1 plus 3, so 4. All right.
He's so handsome, though. It really is amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So
He's beautiful.
You try, yes, as you do it, the ponytail gets whipped around the back, and you come back through him from that side, and again, it's like full damage, like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
I'm not sure what you're
never
doing,
enough.
but you look great doing
He looks
it.
amazing. That chiseled jaw.
The light glistens off your teeth.
At this point, the ghost rises, makes himself as big as he possibly can, and as he does it, his arms get long, and his head and mouth elongate. All of you, you 3 are fine. You 2 make wisdom saving throws.
Y'all best eat those berries.
Okay. All right.
You're able to withstand it.
Oh yeah.
14.
A 14.
Plus your wisdom?
I don't have
Oh,
it.
right.
Mine's
He
0.
doesn't have any.
0.
Both of you are fine. You've seen him pull this trick before, and it was way worse when it was inside a young woman. This time, doesn't do a thing to you.
Yeah.
You are up next, Alistair.
Can you guys position where the combat?
I think.
Oh, yeah, and he...
Yep,
and
we're on
Varys-
the bed.
These 2 are there. You were standing back doing your hypnotic pattern. He's with Mary over here.
Oh yeah.
Put him on the ground doing nothing. It's perfect.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna take my movement and move to get a flanking move on him.
It's like over
And
here.
I'm gonna blast him with my blast, my dragon breath weapon with fire.
Coming that way, so you miss your buddies. Okay.
So it's a DC of 13.
It's a DC of 13. I make a dex saving throw.
Yeah.
I don't make it.
Half damage, 2d6. It's 3 damage. And then I'm gonna take a quickened action. Does he reel in pain from the fire?
The fire hits him and he sort of takes it. You see a little singe, but again, it goes out pretty quickly.
So it's okay. Not great for the fire mage.
Not great.
Realizing I'm only gonna do half damage, I'm gonna quicken a spell.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use that as an attack as well.
Go for it.
So I hit, take 6 damage.
All right. And this is
It's a firebolt.
a fire bolt.
Yeah, 2d10.
So more fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so for 6 damage, and I don't have anything.
It's
That's okay, we're
really
good.
gonna be a lot of that. Really
So
gonna be
again,
lot of fun.
a bolt hits right through him, comes through, a little singe. Oh, well, we did you're doing it twice. That's right.
Yeah, I just wanna.
Yeah, so fire exhales out of your mouth. It singes the front of him. He sort of shakes it off and it falls to the ground. You do it again and again, just sort of shakes it off. But this time you can see it's like right at the edges of his ears and stuff. It's still smoldering.
Bring it!
He's singeing him.
Pizza!
It looks cooler when he does it.
All right,
I mean,
Annabella.
I tried.
I'm gonna do shatter. So a creature takes 3d8 thunder damage
On a
on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
So I roll a d20?
No, you're just making it happen, and I'm going to save against it.
yeah.
So is it a Constitution?
It's happening.
All right, Constitution saving throw. Here we go. I make it.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
Because it's half damage. So still roll the damage, although he's going to take half of that.
Yeah.
So take your D8. Yeah. And you're going to roll 3 of those.
8.
Oh!
16.
Oh, you're gonna die!
5.
So 21. So right above his head where she places it, it doesn't bother you as much, but there's just, you can see his head sort of shake as if something was like pounding inside of his brain. But again, he kind of shakes it off a little bit, but it really clearly makes him mad.
Do his
Anything else
teeth
on
fall
it?
out?
He doesn't really have any teeth.
Okay. In my brain, they fell
If he
out.
had teeth,
Yeah.
they just trickle down.
They just trinkle down. Okay.
Yes, his teeth shatter.
Yes!
Teeth to dust. That's what I
Teeth to
always
dust.
say.
You're good?
First time for
I
everything.
give him the meanest look I've got.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, Ricky the Huckster.
Yes, so I'm going to stay here, and I'm actually going to pull out my pocket watch.
Nice.
Things are moving way too fast.
Yes,
I just
they
need some
are.
time to think. I don't know what this does, but I will wind
You
it.
start to wind it up.
Oh.
As you wind it up, you can feel that time around you sort of it feels like it goes a little bit slower for you. So you have advantage on all dex saving throws.
Good.
Difficult terrain does not bother you.
Great.
There might be 1 or 2 other things, but that's it for now.
And then I'm going to move and go towards Sarah, who fell.
Okay.
And
on the floor. So she's literally like just
Right
right
next
over
to
there
the-
next to the bed.
Nope.
This is the bed?
That's the bed.
Done.
So like come around the other side of Beryl.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
I want to check her as well.
Okay.
Well, I will check
You
her.
will check her.
Yeah.
So you've moved over to her and you're at her side. All good?
Yep.
All right. Beryl, your turn.
Come on, BTB.
I got this, don't worry.
Throw down.
All right, Betty, don't let me down.
And I'm gonna go ahead and attack it again.
Okay.
All right, so. Oh gosh. Well, that's a 9. 16.
Yeah, you hit.
Sweet. 9 slashing
9
damage.
Slashing, okay.
So I'm gonna bring it down, and then I'm gonna try to like flip it and get him on the backswing as well, and try to tear back
As
through
you
him.
pull it back to try to flip it, from that first one, you see that you sliced through, and at this point, his body's trying to knit itself back together, but it just can't, and it seems like the fibers of his existence just kind of dissipate into the air. What?
He's dead?
Of light. So
Right
as you
there.
go
We
back
did
to
it.
try to rehatch to go again, you see it is no longer necessary.
I had my warhammer this time. I was like, oh, well, you know.
I was wondering when you bring that
what's
thing
going on
out.
with
It was going to be the
Sarah?
final
So
blow. but
we're down on the
didn't need
floor.
it.
Ricky's looking at
Hey.
Sarah. What are you gonna do?
I would like to make a medicine roll.
Go for it.
Oh, right.
right,
there's
Sarah.
civilians that are hurt.
16.
A
No beer
16.
yet.
You come down, you see that clearly her body has been just torn apart and ravaged over the last few weeks. She's probably hanging on just by a thread of life, but she is still alive.
I want to cast Healing Word.
Okay?
My healing word is, you are loved. There are people here who need you. Come back to us.
Okay, roll.
Yay. So there's 12.
That's 12. All right. As you lean over her body and you say these words to her that she is loved, her eyes open, she takes a big gasp, and you can even see a little bit of life comes back into her face. The color comes back into her face. She turns around and she says, Mary, where's Mary? And she sees Mary on the ground over there, and she starts to crawl over to her and puts her hand on her face.
You can't move too much, okay?
Okay, but you can help her.
Yes. You're safe.
Thank you. Who are you?
Why, it's Ricky Huckster, the peddler of potions, the tinker of tinctures.
Now is not the time.
I'm Veros. You-
She takes Mary in her arms and she's cuddling her and she starts to cry, slowly rocking her back and forth in her arms. Is there anything that you can do for her, please?
I reach into my pocket and give her my good berry.
You take the good berry and you place it in Mary's mouth, and Sarah helps you. She closes her mouth and holds it. And you see Mary sort of start to stir a little bit, and when her eyes open and she looks up and she says, Sarah? Sarah nods and smiles and looks down, and they hold each other as tightly as they possibly can, the true embrace of love. And they turn back to you with tears in their eyes, and they say, I can't thank you enough. This is everything in our lives, our whole world. You have saved something so precious to us. Thank you.
That's what I do.
I mean,
No biggie.
Maybe next time do some research before buying a house, maybe.
Because, well, this was my family's house, and I thought it should remain in the family. Mary turns to her and she says, they are here. Unfortunately, we are not the only ones in trouble. Others in the realm are in trouble, and they've come to you for guidance. And she says, yes, give me a moment. And she pulls herself up, and she sits down on the bed, and she closes her eyes for just a moment, and she starts to breathe and think. Yes, I have it. And she begins to speak to you. And this is what she says. 3, born of the same womb, powerful beyond compare. Alone they are dangerous, united, deadly. They are the youngest, swift of thought and devoid of moral. She names herself Akiva. The medial, a power bought and honor sold. She names herself Ulu. The eldest, fright and rage are her chosen trade. She names herself Margosa. Search far and wide for items 3 that shall empower all of thee. Only then shall you stand a chance. A spirited dance, burning bright, banishing all but darkest night. This interred within a stone and left to harden all alone. Born of earth, strengthened in fire, honed until its edge is dire. Blessed by holy persons true, shall vanquish those who live anew. Made by cloth of magic spun, it blocks out all beneath the sun. It covers what's real, reveals what's true. No face, no eyes, but senses new. She offers this to you. She'll even write it down for you.
Awesome.
They thank you again. You can even feel in your sense of the space that there is something has lifted. The sort of anger and despair that you felt when you first entered has now gone. You leave the house, you come back in the boat and head back to Relics and Rarities, where you see Professor Roundland. You give her this note. She prepares this for you.
Whoa.
So
I
that
love
you
this campaign. This is great.
will never forget the prophecy that you have extracted. And she says, at this moment, I suppose we should probably try to work out one of these little riddles, one of these items, so that we know where to send you next. Shall we start with the first?
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Yes.
So, a spirited dance, burning bright, banishing all but darkest night. This interred within a stone and left to harden all alone. Any ideas?
Can I see?
Yes.
Do you have it? Can
You
I
want to see it a little closer?
Yeah, right.
Of course you can. We can pass it down.
So I wonder if it is inferring the sun. A giant burning bright is banished, but by night time, and if there's some sort of stone that contains the energy of the sun, or maybe clay or something that would...
This is fantastic.
Right?
Professor Roundland is very interested. She's writing down stone, sun.
Yes. Yes, and clay is heated by fire and turned to stone. It becomes harder.
Wait, but you know what else is hard and lives in stone? Barrel.
The gemstone, yes, you're quite...
It could be like
correct.
a gem or something.
Gem. Oh,
That's what I was
fascinating.
named after. I wasn't named after a keg of ale. You keep saying that, and that's not true.
It just seems apropos, is
Well,
all I'm
no.
saying. Never mind.
Oh, well, this is certainly a very good lead. I shall go look in the compendium overnight and see if I find anything that has to do with stones or suns or gems and see what I come up with.
Yes, the
Or
compendium.
barrel. You
Or
might wanna
barrel,
write that
yes,
down.
I'm sorry, yes, the stone
Like a
barrel.
gemstone.
Taking it seriously.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, any lead is a good lead. So go home, get some rest, and we shall see you on the morrow.
Madam, if you don't mind, I believe it's my time to take my leave.
Alistair, we are indebted to you.
Well, as always, it is a pleasure to serve you. But can I say before I leave, you've all taught me so much. Ricky, with your kind words, I'll never forget what you spoke to her and gave her life from near death. And you beautiful bard, you may be useless in combat at times, but your ability to see the little things in life, to gather and let them use you for strength, Never underestimate your cunning ways. And your ability to pull strength from the past and your history, it inspires me personally. And you, Meat Shield, your bravery will be called on one day before this is over, in a way that you don't know yet. But I believe that you will rise to the occasion. Well met. Thank you for allowing me to travel with y'all. And they'll do a big bow, this big dragon-like bow, and he'll exit the room.
Huzzah!
Thank you so much,
I'll
Alistair.
take my candle to the good fat man.
To the rest of you, get some rest, and we will see you on the morrow.
Aye, before I go, I give them all a coin.
And those coins disappear at dawn.